Yes, it is. We're just starting a meeting right now. We're gonna say the Pledge of Allegiance. You want to, who's calling? Oh, Pat, hey, hang on a second. We're gonna do Pledge of Allegiance first and then,
Yep.
then you can.
Who is it?
Pat Simpson.
Yes, we should be live right now.
All right, hang on a minute.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are we going to do public comment right off the bat, or are you going to switch to something else?
Roll call, and then we'll open up to public comment.
Okay.
Does somebody want to check to make sure we're streaming?
I can't get on.
Roll call, trustee York.
Here.
Trustee Millett. Here. Mayor Jarvis, present. Trustee DeRigo. Here. Trustee Fulmer.
Here.
And Attorney Burks.
Yes.
I can't get on.
1 second, we're gonna.
Is Molly watching?
Yeah, she's not supposed to be.
Pat, are you on the site?
I just got a text from Critter, says it's working great.
Okay.
I'm here on the phone.
All right.
Okay, yeah, but, all right. All set?
Yes, public concern.
Okay, Pat.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready for my public comment?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this address,
Did you lose
You
it?
lost them.
Oh,
Could have been important.
you call back.
Pat, call us back.
Call us back.
Hey, he said he wanted to do it instead of you. Yeah.
There
There
he
we
is.
go. Whose office? Pat? Okay.
sorry, I seem to have gotten cut off.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'm requesting that the village board declare the period of May 21st to October 31st, 2020 as the Alexandria Bay COVID-19 special event. And I'm sure you have that petition in front of you and have an understanding of what it would mean to the businesses in downtown Alexandria Bay. As a motel owner, I would like to say that this is the kind of thing that my guests would certainly appreciate, and being able to go to certain area restaurants and get takeout and pick their takeout lunch or dinner and whatever alcohol they buy with that to our village park, our village dock, great places to Casino Island, great places to enjoy the river and our village. So I hope you'll take my advice into consideration, and I appreciate the time and the ability to call you and tell you this.
Thank you, Pat. Pat, this is Pat Simpson, former mayor. What was the dates again for that? May
21st.
May 21st through October 31st. Now, let's be clear here that the exemption will expire either at the end of the aforementioned period or when repealed by the village board. So the village board would have the ability at any time to say, if this wasn't working out, they could end it.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
No.
No, thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate the work you're doing here, and I would like you to really understand that the village businesses in Alexandria Bay are working extremely hard to try to get through this and to make it the best summer we can for all of our residents and for all our guests. And thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Pat.
you.
Thanks, Pat.
Can I ask a question? Does this proposal require somebody to buy food with alcohol?
Oh, yes.
So you
Yes, it-
cannot just buy food
Right.
or liquor to go?
No, it's gotta be
Over there?
dinners to go, or lunches.
Food
Meals-
to go with any alcohol?
This just came this afternoon.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's-
They have to sell food to go with the alcohol.
Okay, you
You
ready?
can't just sell the liquor to go out the door.
Yep,
Village meeting,
Hi, Bubba.
yes.
Hi, you in public comment right now, because there's a lag.
Yeah, I know, we know, the last meeting, it's a big lag, yeah.
It's 15 seconds.
No, I just wanted
Longer than that.
comment as Pat did,
Okay,
Who is this?
thanking the
Right.
village to consider this. And as I heard Judy say a second ago, in regard to how this works with the restaurants, we are not allowed, we have, full licenses, and with a full license, you're allowed to sell beer in a container out the door. But you're not allowed to sell a bottle of wine or a mixed drink. That's not allowed. The bottle of wine is allowed if you had it during dinner, had a cork put in it, put it in a clear plastic bag, and then have a copy of your receipt for your dinner in that clear plastic bag. What they've done is they've temporarily suspended that because of the COVID-19. So what they're saying is, okay, here's the deal. As long as you, with a meal, okay, with food, actually food is what they termed it. And I think Butch dropped off, along with the signatures, the actual state SLA wording. So what it is, like one of the questions they have in there, they have a question and answer thing. Can somebody buy a bunch of drinks and a bag of potato chips? No, that's not allowed. You have to have food. All of us have liquor licenses. We also have our menu registered with the liquor authority. So to answer Judy's question, you can't just get a bag of potato chips and go out the door with a drink. The intent of this is to try to increase the seating area of the restaurants that have been impacted by this. So right now it's takeout only, and basically this would avail the restaurants involved with seating at, say, the park, on a bench at the village dock, on Casino Island. They'd be able to take their dinner out along with a bottle of wine or a couple of beers or a mixed drink or whatever, and be able to have dinner, because they cannot do that inside a restaurant at this time. And it's just a matter of time when we get back to normal. The liquor authority is going to yank this privilege. This is definitely a temporary privilege. The other thing, as Pat mentioned, if anyone has any reluctance, the village board at any time, if they feel this is not working out the way it's being portrayed is working out, you can just end it. You know, the ultimate is in your hands, and I just want to thank you for considering it, and I'll get off the line.
thank you, Ronnie.
Hey, Ron?
Ronnie?
It's gone.
Oh, here it is. That was Ron Thompson from Uncle Sam and Raleigh by the River.
Can we stop public concerns and then go to get Jim now? We can do that. can't we?
Hit the button.
Hello?
No, you had it on speakers.
Stand and speaker again.
Oh, here we go. Village office,
Hey, this is Roger from Dark Island Spirits.
hey Roger.
Hi, I'd just like to follow up on what everyone said a little bit here. But before that, I'd like to say the road coming into the bay, Church Street, is looking great. Congratulations on that. That's a beautiful job for the sidewalks and the grass. That's awesome. But a side issue, as you go about the deliberation on what we're asking for some increased flexibility on selling and operating on the streets, keep in mind that this isn't just a restaurant bar-centric request. Our idea was that our river, whether it's the boat cruise or the castle, that's all part of the draw coming up here. It isn't just people are gonna come all the way up to the Thousand Islands to sit in a restaurant, whether it's legal or not, and then go home. So what we were thinking is by allowing people more freedom of movement within the community, whether it's the parks, the docks, the pavilion, the casino island, in some ways it will allow people to experience the beauty of the river in the village that's being taken from them because they can't do the boats in the castle. And by keeping people in the community, we think that will help to put them into shopping areas and things like that. So please keep in mind that we didn't do this just for the restaurants and bars. We did that for a community overall. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Roger, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
This is Judy. Are you gonna advertise this on radio or TV that you can do this?
You know, Jody, it's funny you say that because we don't want to necessarily tell people that, quote, there's open container, but then if people don't feel comfortable coming to the bay because they think they're going to be confined inside a restaurant or on a small deck, maybe that will be their reluctance to come and take advantage of what we have available. So it's a really interesting question. Do you have a thought on that?
I just don't like calling it open container all over the
Yeah,
place.
you're absolutely right, and that's why we did not decide to do that. You're absolutely right. We would love to talk to you about it. Yeah, we want to maintain or improve the image of Alexandria Bay. We absolutely, that's our goal. We're all trying to clean it up, fix it up. So we do not want to do anything to turn this into a negative. So we would be more than happy to discuss something like that, best ideas, But no, we do not right now have any plan whatsoever to advertise that.
Okay, so basically your thought is I go to pick a restaurant bar and I can buy 2 burgers, 2 beers, 2 mixed drinks in a plastic cup with a lid on it, and I can take it outside and go find a picnic table or someplace to eat, someplace to sit to eat it. And I understand that because you're not going to be at full capacity in the restaurants or bars.
That's exactly right. And an interesting thing about this, Judy, is let's say, for example, they give us 75% deck space and 50% interior space. We have to remember that most people might not even feel comfortable in that environment, even though the state or the North Country control room may offer more inside seating. That doesn't mean that people who are afraid of this, maybe older people, are going to want to come to the bay because they're still going to feel constrained. So in some ways, we can't say, well, as they continue to open this up, we're good to go. I think we have to be fluid with this, And if if you see something that you don't like, please come back. You come to me at any time. I mean, I would be glad to shepherd any good, bad, or ugly from this thing. And we're just searching. We're searching for solutions in a tough time.
Roger?
Yeah.
I saw an article today that a restaurant down there in the Rochester area, that's on one of the lakes down there, they're pushing FOMO to try to open dinner on open decks and even into the parking lots, so they can get some business going and serve out in if they have a parking lot, they can rope off to do a dinner there, or on an open deck, which some of our restaurants do, because people are not going to want to sit inside. So they're pushing hard to get that pushed through earlier than later.
Right, and the other thing, I was talking to one restaurant owner right now that has, today that has an outdoor seating area, and he said he was actually shocked when he put his tables at the 6 foot apart, which we think is coming, right? That's one potential 6 foot apart for tables. He said it really ate up his space. I mean, forgetting everything else, if you have to go through that, you're being severely limited.
Yeah.
So yes, parking lots, sidewalks, all of those things.
And I saw one other article today, and it's going to happen up this Lake Placid.
Yeah.
All the trustees passed it, and they're going to shut down one half of the street up there, one-way traffic, so people can bring their clothing and everything on the sidewalks.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea.
and make it so they can get more people shopping.
Right.
And it was in today's Watertown paper, and I was gonna call Ronnie to see where we can sit down, maybe figure something out.
Yeah, beautiful. I appreciate all of your help in this.
Okay.
All right, well,
All right.
great. All right, anything else?
No, all set.
Oh, okay,
Thanks,
Thank you.
Roger.
Thank you, Roger.
yep.
Give it one more minute, and
Pardon me? Well, we gotta,
let me just read,
Jim going.
what's that?
Okay, I think I remember. How you wanna?
They're calling it the Alexandria Bay COVID-19 special event. To the Alexandria Bay Village Board, the following downtown businesses respectfully request that the Village Board declare the period of May 21st through October 31st, 2020 as the Alexandria Bay COVID-19 special event. We further request that the Village Board therein authorize use of exception 38-3A of Chapter 38 from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily to specifically allow participating village businesses to take advantage of the attached rules and regulations as provided by New York State Liquor Authority. The area requested for the exception would be the business district as it presently exists on the village zoning map, also the village docks, Scenic View Park, and Casino Island. The exception would expire at the end of the aforementioned period when the special privilege is extended by the New York State Liquor Authority or when repealed by the Village Board, whichever occurs first. And there's the businesses Cavaleria Steakhouse, Dark Island Spirits, Nav's Popcorn, Mike Bresnahan, Admiral's Inn, Skips, The Corner, Coleman's Dock of the Bay, Riverboat River House, Charles Garlock, Uncle Sam Boat Tours, Cap Thompson Resort, American Narrows Trading Company, Riley's by the River, Cap's Inn and Suites, Downtown Wine and Spirits, Downtown at 11 James, River Image, and Boardwalk Marina.
Who's Marina?
It says Boardwalk Marina.
Okay.
I cannot make out the signature.
I don't think you need to do the signatures. You got the names of the businesses. What was your input on that? I mean, you had, they
Well,
talked,
I think that proposal that you read is extremely clever. Last week, when the village board met, the discussion was to consider adopting a local law that would be tailored to these new requirements, the new flexibility that the New York State Liquor Authority had provided. You could do that with if you had wanted to, with preparing, adopting a local law with all the time, effort, and expense for that. And the difficulty with that is you've got to hold a public hearing and on and on and on. It takes a lot of time. And it wouldn't become effective until you file it with the state. What was read to me right now, I think is a very clever proposal because it doesn't require you to adopt a local law. You'd be able to use the specific language that you've already adopted in the past, 38-3 capital A. Now, what that does for quick background, your code chapter 38, you've got a general prohibition. It says it's a violation of chapter 38 for a person to consume alcoholic beverage on any public land within the village, and they've got some other restrictions. So you've got a general blanket prohibition. But then what your chapter 38 does is you've got a provision for exceptions. And 38-3 gives an exception that says that foregoing prohibition shall not apply in the event of a fair, picnic, or other community gathering for which special permission has been granted by the village board. So it gives you the flexibility. You're the guarantors of the public way. You get to create exceptions if you think it makes sense, okay? What you read then is a request from members of the public, business owners and citizens, et cetera, that they're asking you to consider what you've already got adopted to just create an additional permission, to provide permission for a specific time within the time frame and place. And you could do that by a simple resolution if you wanted to adopt that to become effective immediately, so you wouldn't have to wait 3-4 weeks before you get everything formed. And keeping in mind that if you decided to do that or something along those lines, if all of a sudden, a week from now, you said, you know, you've got some hesitancy, it's special permission, you could always rescind it, and then you could modify it slightly, okay? I mean, so if you were gonna adopt this or something like that, my only suggestion would be to consider that special permission is given between this particular dates in accordance with that request, unless hereafter rescinded. But I think it's a very clever approach to deal with the problem that you know, your businesses and citizens are faced with. But it's your call at that point.
So all we have to do is put a motion on the floor.
Yeah, and let me,
yes or no, or-
yeah, and let me back up too. What kind of brings this on is, I don't get involved with these state liquor authority issues, but what happens with New York State, they regulate people so much. The state liquor authority says if you're gonna have a business that's gonna sell alcoholic beverages, and they define what they are, et cetera, they put a lot of strings attached to it. They'll call it typically an on-premises license. And they regulate the businesses in a huge way. What the state has done is recently the state recognized that the guidelines they have make it extremely difficult for businesses in New York State. So the state liquor authority took a provision to relax that so long as it's consistent with the municipality's open container laws. So the state's saying, yep, they recognize what they've got is really difficult for businesses to meet, but the state throws it back on the municipality to say it's up to you. So you do have restrictions on open containers, so the request you've got in front of you is to relax that standard for a period of time. So it becomes a judgment call for the board.
What was the time again?
I got the time for until 10 o'clock at night.
What time to start in the morning?
Who was it? 11? What was the time, Steve?
11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah. I know you're having a tough time, you know, thinking about it, but.
Well, it's, like he said, it's not what they proposed last week.
That's right.
And I, you know,
I told you that you weren't getting it all, and I kind of understood it, and that's why I told you.
Well, I wish I had gotten it sooner.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to, say that, you know, I think they really went out of their way. I think they did a good job talking with Jim. We've got to do something for downtown. I think you've all been downtown, and I think you guys see what's going on down there. It's pretty deserted.
Okay, so can we, if this is going to be 11 to 10 p.m., the concern I have is Casino Island needs to be shut down at a certain time. And I don't think people should be out there drinking anywhere close to dark. So what time can we close Casino Island?
What time do we normally close
Lock
it?
it's dusk. It's
Dusk,
dusk, but I
right.
mean, I think it should be a time, 8
No.
o'clock,
Well,
8:30?
No, dusk, just like it always has been.
So who stands there and,
Chases
so in
people
all
away.
this that we're discussing, no one's mentioned our police, our insurance.
Insurance
So
is-
in all this, you're telling me that you don't honestly think that this is gonna turn into all summer Pirates Weekend? Because we all know what happens in the village on Pirates Weekend. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that in Lickety Split, everyone will know that the whole place is open container, and you're gonna find people sitting up at the pavilion with their coolers, drinking out of the backs of their cars, and
They
it
can do that,
isn't
they
gonna
can do that
be,
without that.
it isn't gonna be like all peachy keen, people getting their 2 burgers and their 2 drinks and their 2 beers and going and sitting at a picnic table.
Has anybody talked to the police department?
Just to let you know, you say coolers setting up at the park, if we pass this. If we didn't pass this, they can take their coolers and go up to the park
I
and set.
understand, but,
I
so
did talk
that's
with
breaking the rules,
You
but
did?
when there are no
Yes,
rules,
about 2
then
weeks ago.
they'll
Which
just
is-
be a free-for-all. I understand that we need to do something for the businesses and our part to do this, as every community is facing these same issues. So has anyone considered, like, you know, we block off, between church and market for
I don't think you can block that off, 'cause
No.
that's a state highway.
we do it for, so,
I know, I don't know how we get away with it.
See, one of the things that was said to me is, oh my God, they're gonna be six-packs in, and they're gonna be down, Bolton Avenue, they're gonna be over on High Street, they're gonna, no. And number one, it's plastic cups with a cover on. It's not beer bottles, it's not beer cans.
No bottles.
It's not on Washington Street, it's not on Catherine or wherever, it is at a specified area.
And so is open container when we have a event downtown, and it is only supposed to be here while the band is playing an hour before and an hour after, and that never happens, and you all know that. You all know that never happens.
So how are we we're gonna have to add extra police shifts?
We shouldn't have to, we
We should-
always have a ton
we
of
don't
them.
need
No, we don't need extra police for this. Like, Jim, you said that if this doesn't work out, we can pull it.
Yeah, I mean, a couple.
And I say we just go ahead and try it, and if it doesn't work out, then we gotta revamp
Yeah, I
it.
mean, a couple, there.
Bottom line here.
Good points. I mean, number one, from the police standpoint, certainly that if you adopt something like this with a simple resolution, yeah, you would wanna make sure that your local law enforcement is aware that you've relaxed that standard so that
Right.
there's no confusion. That's number one. Number two, the insurance question. I can tell you that.
Just hit the button.
I can tell you
Just
that
the speaker.
from my impression with
Village
insurance.
office.
Hi, we're looking to participate with a comment for the meeting.
Who is this, please?
Christy Reynolds,
Okay, can he
Christie
finish
Reynolds?
first?
Hold
We'll
on,
call you
please.
back, get her phone number.
Mark Reynolds.
We'll have to call her back.
Or can you call, we're in between,
Put her on hold.
with the lawyer right now. Can you, call us back in about 5 minutes?
Sure can.
Okay.
The question with insurance coverage, I, off the top of my head, I'm not seeing any exposure.
Me either.
You are not creating liability if you simply allow persons to consume alcohol in a public place. You're not, the legal rationale for that, it goes back 75 years or whatever. The point being, you have to have a special relationship with an individual before that happens, meaning that you have to have a victim who's calling for help, you're promising to offer help, and because you don't provide that help, the person's injured because someone is consuming alcohol. I think that's not going to be a real problem here. So from
So
a
you're
police,
okay?
so from a police standpoint, you're certainly, if you go forward with something like this, yeah, you wanna make sure your local police are aware of it. Number two, the insurance question is not raising any red flags for me from a practical standpoint, because if your goal is to have no liability at all, then the answer is we're gonna have to shelter in place for the rest of our lives. I mean, there's gonna be certain risks that take place, but the exposure from the village, I'm not seeing it. The third thing is it becomes completely a policy question for the elected officials, is that, you know, you're responsible for your public property. And if you think that, if you give permission in some fashion, according to this, and if all of a sudden you think that it doesn't work the way you'd like it to, you know, resolutions aren't sacred. You can come back in here and you can amend the resolution to change it, to fine tune it, or to repeal it. So I want you to be aware of the fact that please don't think that if you do something today and all of a sudden next week you say, you know what, I should have done X, Y, and Z, you can. But it becomes your call.
That's why I just asked the
Well,
question. That's why I just asked that question.
Let me say something on top of this. If we pass this and we have problems with it, let's form a committee, and I'd like to be on the committee.
We are the committee.
I mean, like,
We are the
we
committee.
can't all go down at the same time.
Well, I
You know
get
what
what
I'm
you're
saying? If we have a problem, we'll have to have a committee, go down and talk to them and bring them in or whatever, but
Who are you talking to, this committee, who are they talking to?
who.
You just said the committee would go
Well,
there
like, say
and
for
talk
instance,
to-
when we got a lot of complaints or
The
something,
problem
say,
with somebody,
you know, let's have a committee go meet with the chamber and say, look, we're getting a lot of, it's really not chamber, I know the chamber members, but the business owners. And if we're having a problem, it's gonna be a specific place that we're having a problem, and we're gonna be able to find out where the
It's gonna be the
specific
whole
place is.
village.
I'm not, okay, so,
Can we answer this one?
Yeah, it's gonna be Mr. Reynolds.
Village office,
Yeah, it's Mark Reynolds.
I want to do a comment on the open container, if I may.
Make it quick, because we're right in the middle of it. We've already had public comment.
All right,
Go ahead, Jim.
If that was someone,
Yeah, we're gonna have to make it quick, because Jim's gotta go.
at
All right.
6:30.
No, I.
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you. I, a couple of points and a couple of thoughts in this. The first is I've done some research and I would ask I'd ask Jim Burrows to check on my research to see if I'm anywhere near correct. The first piece of research is that the DMV actually controls the drinking and the open containers on highways, public highways,
That's correct.
and the right-of-ways for public highways.
Yes, Mr. Reynolds is correct.
So the question in this is, we know that Church Street down to James Street, and James Street over to Market Street, and Market Street up to Fuller Street is state highway. The rest of the village streets, are they classified as public highways? And if so, do they fall into the same requirements as the highways listed under the DMV requirement? That's basically the whole story that I've got.
Okay.
Mr. Reynolds is correct on that. I've not researched that topic, but generally speaking, keep in mind that New York State, in regard to these public roads, that's where you get involved with the penal law as far as drinking and driving and consumption of alcohol on roads. What presumably you're looking at is you're not looking to attempt to authorize people to consume on the roads. When I say the roads, the full width, presumably you're looking at other public areas, whether it's I'll call it public parks or public parking lots or something along those lines. But Mr. Reynolds is correct. As far as the roads, we do not have authority to try to adopt a resolution that impacts use of public roads.
Okay, so we're not really talking about roads, we're talking about the public areas such as the park and the river walk and those kinds of areas.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, it's always been that way, even back when they used to grant it before, when they used to close down that part of the street, they should have never did that years ago. But,
Okay, so, discussion on this, what really bothers me is Casino Island. Ron Thompson says closing Casino Island at 8 p.m. is okay.
I say dusk, whatever dusk is, because
Dusk
it's gonna
is-
get dusk, it's gonna get dark earlier than that.
Yeah, but
Come
I
on.
understand that, but for right now, I have a problem with dusk. Who are we gonna have hang around until it's determined to be dusk? And I think for me, that's just too vague. If we say we're gonna lock the gate to Casino Island at 8 p.m., it's gonna take you time to get people off of there if there's that many people out there drinking and eating. I would just feel better if we said 8 o'clock.
Let me ask you this, what time when they used to say dusk, what time was that when they used to go over and lock it? Whenever the park attendant left, right? It was around 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Well, I'd like to set a time.
8:15.
I would say 8:30. Mine is just 8:30.
Now, who's gonna, is DPW gonna go down there and
Well,
lock it up? Who's?
Well, we're gonna
We gotta figure this out. Who's gonna lock it up?
discuss parks, docks, and golf courses in a little bit. It's down to
Okay.
new business, so that's where we're gonna have
So,
to
but-
decide who we're bringing back and stuff.
Right, the problem is, we're gonna make a motion here, she wants to put in.
But-
the
What time do you want it, Judy?
8 o'clock.
Okay. I think that I would like to make a motion that we pass this.
I would like to
Resol-
make a comment before you make a
Okay, go
motion.
ahead.
That through all this, and you say we don't need any extra police for this kind of event all summer long, correct?
No.
And
I'm
that-
saying we have a lot of police. I didn't say we needed to hire more on top of
I
that.
didn't say hire more, I was referencing the hours they work and how many hours they're gonna work as far as their salaries go. And as far as our DPW goes, is who's cleaning up after all these people eating out in the public.
Down on the lower part.
Well, I can't agree to a motion if I don't know the answer to this, because if we say yes now, then when we get down here and discuss how DPW or who's cleaning up after all these
Who cleans up?
people?
We have one guy cleans up, one guy cleaned up all last year, after the
And
events
this is
and in the
every
morning.
day,
Ev-
all day
No, he
long.
didn't.
No.
No,
No,
I'm
he-
saying this open container is every day, all day long. So I'm just
I think
kinda
with
picturing
the,
open container, you know, when we do have it in the summertime. What
Yeah,
that
but you
looks
guys-
like
you guys-
after.
You got the open container thinking it's gonna be on the street all the time.
Yeah.
If it's not on the street and it's up at the park and it's at the beach and it's on Casino Island, everyone will have trash. Is there a carry in,
we
carry
still have
out?
trash every day. We have more without the COVID than we are with the COVID. I mean,
Not
Yeah, we have more
downtown
with
and
the COVID.
around,
yes.
not downtown and the parks and the pavilions and the docks. and
The
where
garbage
public-
pickup, we can discuss under the
I'm
golf docks and parks.
sorry.
Because,
You know what,
I-
if nobody wants
I
to
look at
discuss
the-
all the issues when we're now here discussing this, to make a motion and go, feel free.
here's,
Feel free to go forward.
here's,
No,
No.
with our weekend workers, now, the water department and sewer department are working 40 hours a week, meaning that they work some days 6 hours,
Mhm.
6 hours, so that they work the weekend without overtime.
Correct.
So, part of that can be doing their jobs at the sewer plant or the water
Mhm.
plant, and while they're waiting for testing, is you grab the truck and make a trip around
and
downtown.
they have that.
Pardon
They
me?
pick
They
up
did
trash,
last weekend, yeah.
they can
Yeah.
pick up our
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah, Jared's been
No,
very
like, not
good.
regular DPW guys, you're saying your water
Water
sewer
sewer
guys
guys.
are gonna do
Without
that?
hiring the overtime. That
Right.
is something that can be discussed, yes.
Yeah,
And
and
they have agreed to do that?
I just said it's something that we can discuss.
Jared has mentioned it. about it.
Yes, Jared
And
has
so
mentioned
when we
that.
get down further on budget limit spending, we just discussed last meeting how we were trying to keep our budget like as
Yeah.
thin as possible. This does not sound like that, in line with
Well-
that.
well,
Because you got so upset we spent money so we could have these meetings and our public could be part of it over this, but now.
Okay, well,
it's
let me
like-
jump on to how I expected we were gonna clean this up.
Okay.
We're not gonna open up the village park, the beach. We're not gonna open up the beach, because they have to wear a mask, they have to be 10 foot away, and it's gonna go all summer. Talked to Hagerman on the phone today. So, how are we gonna put anybody on the beach? So
How are
are
you gonna police people at the
We don't
pavilion
have
and
to-
everywhere?
we don't
Well,
have to
then
police.
why do we have, it doesn't make sense, when you say like you can't do this because you have to police them being 6 feet apart. But everywhere else in the village where you can drink openly and eat your burger, we don't have to police them being 6 feet apart?
No, we don't. No, do we, Jim? Do we have to monitor people, how close they're together
I don't know
walking
how
down the
we
street?
have to do it in
There
one
you go.
side, not in the other.
Answer that question.
We,
But-
the
We'd be driving
reality,
ourselves nuts if we had to
the
do that.
reality, the executive orders, a lot of those are supposed to be enforced by the county codes.
Second floor.
Right.
And the county codes doesn't really.
Right.
Yeah, but the guy that we had at the parks last year,
Vince,
huh?
Vince,
No,
See the
no, the
weekend
guy
guy?
at the.
John.
John, okay.
And it's down the road here on the things, but I think that instead of having, since the parks are gonna be pretty much the beach area and stuff, gets all taken care of by the DPW during the day, which it has, they've been mowing it, been taking care of it all and everything. I think that we should talk, and we talked to John last year because he didn't work Saturdays and Sundays. We talked to him at the end of the year, put him on and give him 2 days off earlier in the week and have him policing the area at the park, policing the docks,
I
the
agree with that,
bathrooms and
because
stuff.
we weren't using him when we needed
No, at the
him.
bathrooms down on the docks, because those dock bathrooms don't get enough attention. And I think that's the guy, that got used wrong. I think that's the guy that we put money out there and he really didn't get utilized for what he was.
Right, no, I agree with that. He needs to be brought in.
And pick up garbage on the street and have him drive the truck on the street and pick up the garbage.
John, can
Oh,
he
yeah.
drive the truck?
Oh, absolutely. How do you think he gets to work?
His car. But can he
Oh,
drive one of our
yes.
trucks?
Yeah, he used to work, he was Chalks Marina, he towed boats. and
Okay, I
everything.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, he's a good worker.
Tony, I have a
I
question.
got a text from,
And also, that's another thing I forgot to tell you, Julia, is when I was with the business people and some of the chamber people, this year, They want us to take them black trash cans that we have down there, put extra plastic bags in the bottom of them, and then when the bags are full, they wanna pull them out, tie them, put them in their, behind their business, we pick them up.
I think we should take those lids off too, because that, those,
I think that's the only thing holds them open, that, no?
I don't know, but the holes in the tops of those
I was just
black
gonna say,
are too
that's
small, and that's why people, the trash can's not full,
Yeah.
but they put their trash on
Exactly,
top
'cause I went
because
down and
they can't
checked
get in.
last weekend.
Right,
It
so
went-
that
went
has
up
to
from-
be worked out.
But I talked to some of the business owners, matter of fact, I went down and met with them last weekend, and they said that they're more than willing to pull them garbage bags out, take them into their thing, and us pick them up the next, the next day,
Yeah, they're on
whatever,
board.
overnight, huh?
They're on board. When I was on with the
Yeah.
meeting the other night, they're on board 100%.
And
They wanna help us out.
And they were downtown picking up the street last weekend, some of the business owners.
Okay, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Everyone can obviously tell from my attitude and right off the bat that I don't approve of this
I know.
village-wide, all summer long, open container
And
thing.
you should have your.
But what if we approved like just the pavilion and Casino Island? And then it's easy to,
I kinda wanted one other spot.
and
Can I
where
tell
would
you
it
what?
be?
I think that we should put some picnic tables up by the old chamber.
That could be.
Because it's right on the
I
river
don't like
walk.
the
I
idea
mentioned
this
that the
included
other
the
night.
town docks. I don't like.
But don't you think up on the, up by the chamber, cause it's off the main street and the river walk goes up past there?
I mentioned that the other night to them.
And then that's where we could put trash cans and stuff.
I don't
up
like, I do not like the idea of it just being kinda,
I don't think we can put,
Because
I don't think we can
Really?
put picnic tables on the dock. I don't think
No.
there's room for picnic tables.
I
no,
don't
but there's
believe we should
benches, what's
either.
gonna stop people from walking down there with their drinks and sitting
Well,
on the bench or
there's-
under the gazebo and eat their.
Nothing's gonna stop.
No,
I mean,
nothing's
you're
gonna
eating
stop
out of
them
a
guys
to-go, as it is, you're eating out of a to-go container.
It's not gonna stop them people that come in their boats that have all their drinks in their
Right.
boats and
Yeah,
get
well,
out of
that's in
their
their
boats and sit on
boats,
the back.
yeah, they sit in their boats.
It's the
and
same
they're
thing.
there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a catch-22 on that. And I agree
All
with,
of it is a
yeah.
catch-22.
And I agree with you on the.
Agreeing to
on
all
the-
of it or none of it is just.
And nothing we can do about it. I mean, the thing is, every town is really going through this. Village, town, all the resort areas are gonna be going through what we're going through. And it is what it is, and we just gotta let it go and see how it
I think that's the
flows.
wrong attitude for our community.
I mean,
Just, if that's the case, don't approve it and just let everybody go do whatever they want anyway. They do half the time as it is.
Okay. You were a board member for a lot of years, you've seen it. I mean, what did you guys do then?
When?
You said seen it for a lot of years.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, what did you do about it? Did you do
It is
anything?
a free-for-all in this village.
Did
It
you-
always has been. It will always be. Putting it out there that it's open container all summer long.
You keep
It's
calling it
open.
open container,
Okay.
but it's not really open container. I wish you'd stop
All the-
using that phrase.
because
All of you guys
he
use that.
said if
It's
it,
not what they asked for last week, at the
Right.
May 12th meeting. When that came up, I was under the impression that they wanted to be able to sell anything in a cup to go without any food. And for me, that's like a no. And I'm,
Teeter-tottering now, right?
yeah, if you make
No,
a
they said it was with food last week because,
no, not at the meeting, it was just, he said open container.
I was under the impression
Has
last
to be,
week
it
on
has to
was
be
with
food. Let's just say, I'm gonna pick on Skips. In order for him to sell it to go, he would have to open a kitchen. It has to have food. It's not,
Ronnie already said this, they gotta buy food with it to buy their alcohol. They just can't go in there and buy a bottle of wine and bring it on the street and start drinking it.
No.
They gotta buy food. Bottom line here, they gotta buy food here with it.
Yep.
When they do, what they ever do, when they leave that premises is on their time, not our time. I mean, we're gonna be going around and around in circles with all this, whole night here. This is what it is.
So
if they're gonna break the law,
I have a text from Molly, and not that she's the queen of this village, but she did say, Josh David says, and someone has spoken to him about this, he'd need to have 2 officers on at all times, and that's not gonna change their budget
They have 6 on all the time.
all the time.
In the summertime, there's police on all.
There was a
all
guy
the
on
time.
at 6 o'clock this morning.
This morning.
6 o'clock this morning, there's a guy on
There's
the
nothing
police
going on?
department. Nothing, yeah, what's
Okay,
supposed to
so
do somebody
what
at 6 o'clock
Josh David
in the
is-
morning here?
What Josh David is saying, And Molly says he said, and I talked to him the other day too, so he's saying that from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., when we're doing this till October, he's gonna have 2 policemen on.
And 2 on, yesterday when I was in
Wait,
there.
is that, are we understood that that's what we're gonna do?
No,
So,
no.
so you're,
What's wrong with their state troopers and their sheriffs too? I mean, we have.
No, we'll have the one on per shift,
State troopers come in, they'll shut you down,
No.
okay?
but they,
Okay.
they'll be arresting people, nobody likes to be
Well,
arrested in South Bay.
they have to be breaking the law in order to do it.
So
And
after these
if
people
we,
get their,
it's the village that's in charge of the open container on village public land.
What did Molly say? Read it.
Josh,
What was it from Josh?
Something
No,
about picnic tables
You don't need 2
are not allowed
policemen
at
on.
this time, 6-foot distance.
she
We're not
said,
talking about
Josh Davis
picnic
said
tables.
he need to have 2 officers on at all times, and she said
No.
something, the water steward, that she didn't,
No,
I
you
don't
don't
think she
need-
feels that they're gonna be picking
you don't need 2
trash
officers
all
on
their
it.
free time.
It's not where you're gonna have 3,000 people in here doing all this. at one
Everybody's
time.
panicking like we're gonna be
This- this
mobbed.
crazy.
I don't, we're not gonna be mobbed.
I got,
I think you'd be surprised
I got a text from
once the
Ronnie.
word gets out.
He said the old chamber building is
It's
in the business.
district. I knew it was, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to
So
do
let's-
something, because
let's get going
Mr.
on
Burrows, we've got,
Well,
I've got time.
the way I look at it is, you want 8 o'clock, if you want 8 o'clock, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything to try it. I mean, if we run into a problem, let's
Then
try,
make it 8
we can
o'clock.
pull it tomorrow.
Right, that's what I just said. We
What,
said this, I
you're
said this
saying
earlier.
you
We can
close
pull this
the-
anytime we
Close
want to.
Casino Island at 8 p.m.
All right.
Yeah,
8
Ron
p.m.
is saying you still have the pavilion,
yeah. Yep,
Yep,
you do.
right, okay.
so,
I make a
wait.
motion that we accept this, resolution as it is.
And I'll
Oh,
second
no,
it.
wait.
with the
Wait.
closing of
Right,
Casino
wait,
Island at
yeah.
8 p.m.
Well, I'm gonna,
It-
that
it-
was already in there.
Well, not as it is, it's,
Well,
you
okay,
know, so,
with her Casino
Island
Island
closed
closed
at 8
at 8 o'clock.
I second it.
How's that?
and the ability to rescind this at any time.
It's
if
on
becomes
there.
a
It's on-
problem.
we don't
Okay,
need-
we
I'm
already
just
said
making
this.
sure, and we all talk and talk to our police department.
We don't need 2 officers on it.
I'm
That's
I'm
crazy.
not saying that.
I know
Bubba, how
that.
would you know?
We don't
You're
need
not
2
a
officers,
police
not for this
officer.
type of, at 11 o'clock in the morning, you need 2 officers on to police this at 11 o'clock
Bubba,
in the
I'm
morning?
not saying that.
That's crazy.
Okay,
And we don't need a police officer
Okay.
on at 6 o'clock in the morning either.
would you like to yell a little louder?
No, I just wanna let people know how I feel about it,
Okay,
that's all.
I know.
I would like to have
I'm out
discussion with
anyway, so.
our police department to make sure we're fine with that, but if we are going to police this ourselves, like we say, and the chamber's gonna police it, and everybody's gonna work together, as long as 8 o'clock for Casino Island, and as long as there becomes a problem, we can say it stops.
Yes, that's it, that's right in there.
Yeah.
That's in the, was that in there, Jim? That was in
Yeah,
there.
again, as I understand, you're looking at providing special permission as authorized by 38-3, capital A. It's a special permission with these conditions,
Mhm.
and recognizing that this village board, you have the ability to change that down the road, or to
Anytime.
rescind it if you wish.
Right.
That's the village board issue.
Okay.
So 8 o'clock is the only thing we added in there,
Yeah.
okay? Casino Island.
Mhm.
And we don't want no docks, but the pavilion, or not the pavilion, but I'd like to use the chamber building.
The old chamber building too, okay. All right, you gotta do roll call and yes, no's and all the rest of it.
Well, I made a motion, did you
I
second it?
second it.
So
now
motion
you
made
got-
by trustee Millet, second by trustee DeRigo. Under the aforementioned proposal, with Casino Island closing at 8 p.m. and using the old chamber property
Instead of the docks.
instead of the docks. Any more discussion of what we've already done?
I'd like a copy of that,
Of this?
yes,
Yes.
You didn't get one?
yeah.
I haven't got one yet either, nobody's got one.
Oh, I don't.
I don't have one.
I'll do a roll call. Trustee Millet,
Yes.
trustee DeRigo,
Yes,
trustee Burke,
No,
trustee Fuller,
I'm a
Full,
yes.
excuse me, full.
I'm a yes, as long as we can rescind it if it becomes problematic.
Jarvis is yes. That
No,
motion,
and that's the dates, 21 to 31.
Right.
Well, phase 3, which includes restaurants, doesn't begin until after May 30th. So it really should be.
Phase 3 is after June 23rd.
I just looked it up and it says phase 3 begins after May 30th.
What's the phase 3 have to do with it?
That's when restaurants are included.
The percent. That's why they want to take out windows, because they can do it now.
So right now, they want, in case somebody comes to town this weekend, they wanna be able to do this,
Right.
so that people can't go in
Right.
and make it work. So now we have to, okay.
number 2 is the chamber. This is to, regards to the curbside pickup request that was,
Oh, yeah, I made maps. Bigger maps, so you can see. The only one, if you look at that dot right there, they took it off, but I put it back.
Thank you.
Anything that's a red dot, and there's one with an X on it, and I talked to Lauren today, and she put that one back on. But, right, they're gonna buy the signs, they're gonna put them on there, and I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, there's 9 of them, but we're gonna get 11 or 12 signs just in case we wanna move some around. Alan Taylor, I went down there, I put one in front of Alan's place.
Ronnie,
He has-
just 1 second. Ronnie just says phase 3 is June 13th.
That's what I thought. I thought it was in June.
June 13th.
okay, I got one from Dark Island Spirits can takeout be made now? That we just passed this, which is May 21st.
May
Today.
21st is tomorrow.
Today.
Is that today?
Today.
No, today's the 20th, isn't it?
Today's
21st.
21st.
Today's the 21st.
Oh, my-
Today's Thursday, 21st.
Thursday the 21st.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Get my verse, nothing. Get my
But
verse.
anyway, I think we just passed it, so what would that mean, Jim?
Is that,
If they can lawfully prepare food and serve food through a takeout window, then they can do that. And if you've adopted your resolution, they could comply.
we're good?
Did you get that, Roger?
But again, we're not taking a position with what the executive orders do or don't do and what Department of Health does with the businesses. That's something that's outside our province.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, they got 9 on there. The only other place that I thought about one, and I talked to Roger about it, and it might help things, I don't know when you come into the village, but up there, I know the Dancing Dog's not gonna serve food, but the Church Cross serves dinners on, certain nights and stuff up there.
Wednesday.
Huh?
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Whatever
night.
night.
Yeah.
So when you come down the main street and you turn to go down the Dancing Dog, you know that white truck that's always sitting there on the corner that you can't make the corner?
Mhm.
I'd like to put one right there on that corner, a 15-minute parking, so that the church can use that to pick up their food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I talked to Lauren and Roger about that, and, you know, it'd make it easier for the church, because that way they can go right out of town.
Mhm.
Does anybody see any other places? Like I started to say, Alan Taylor didn't want one in front of his place, so if you look where Alan's was gonna be, Good Dog Charlie's is across the road there.
Yeah.
And I talked to Andre, and we put one in hers because she's turned her place into a convenience store. So she sells more than, you know, more than just the clothing and stuff now, so she's open. So people can run in there and grab stuff, so.
So this is gonna be how long parking? 10-minute parking or?
10 to 15.
They're gonna be marked, all these are just gonna have signs.
We don't have to worry about monitoring them. The business owners are gonna, if they have a problem, they'll call the village police if somebody parks there and leaves their vehicle and it's gone. So,
I'm okay with this.
yeah,
Right.
I don't think we have to do anything on it, do we? We just let them put them on there, or not? Shouldn't have to put a motion out there or anything like that.
I think you should.
Okay, I
we
make a
should.
motion that we, allow them to buy the signs, because they're gonna buy the signs, and put them on the parking meters that are designated down there, because I already went down and put yellow ribbons on them last weekend, and, use them for their takeouts.
For curbside pickup.
Yeah, their curbside pickups, yep. I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Until the village board rescinds that motion then?
Yes, that's all
So
that's
Until it
part of
rescinds
it.
that motion.
Well, they may, that, if takeouts go well, they may wanna do it all the time. And it's only 9 meters, I already found 9 other places to put them.
Motion made by trustee Millet, second by trustee Fulmer. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Complete seeker for the Ready Grant.
In a nutshell, I can jump in on that. So,
Are we waiting on somebody's phone?
No.
No, that was,
Yeah. Okay.
So about 5 weeks ago, our engineer, in moving forward with the Ready project, had to begin the process for this environmental review under seeker. That was the long form part 1. That was adopted by the village board around mid-April. I reviewed everything, that was fine. What we did was, once I got confirmation that the village board had approved everything, I had to contact all of the involved agencies. I did that in writing, the letters went out April 21st. You have to wait the full 30 days, that's up today. And within that window, one of the entities can either, can oppose it, or they can do nothing, or they can support it. We haven't had any opposition, meaning you can go forward to serve as the lead agent for purposes of seeker. It's important that you go forward with that process, because until you get complete with the process, you really can't go forward with the actual project itself. So the next step in that process is part 2 of the long form seeker forms, okay? That was also prepared by our engineer. I looked at the part 2, don't have any hesitancy with it, but technically it's a village board question to go through that process. So if you can indulge me, I assume you've all got a copy of the long form part 2 that was prepared by our engineer?
I've got it, I didn't bring it with me.
Well, if you want, it's 10 pages,
Yeah.
13 questions. What I'll do is this, with your permission, I'll read the question and the recommended response that our engineer has recommended and that I've looked at and I agree with it. And then if you agree, you don't have to say anything. If you disagree, let me know, because it's your form, we'll make the change. And then after we complete that part 2, then we go to the next step, okay? So with the part 2, question number 1 is, and again, this is the project with the Ready grant that we're dealing with. Would the proposed action involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface? The answer is yes. And with these different areas, the impact on the land surfaces would be no impact or small to moderate impact at most. Number 2, would it have an impact on geological features? The answer to that was no. Number 3, would it have an impact on one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies? The answer is yes, that it would, because it's near the water bodies. The specific questions with that is going through the impacts. They'd be small or moderate, no impact or small impact might occur. In regard to number 4, would the proposed action result in new or additional use of groundwater, or may have the potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater? The answer is no. Number 5, the proposed action may result in development on lands subject to flooding. The answer is yes. As you know, that's really what this is all about. The impact, though, the negative impact would be either no or small impact. Number 6, impacts on air. The proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source. The answer is no. Number 7, the proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna. The answer is no. Number 8, the proposed action may impact agricultural resources. The answer is no. Number 9, The land use of the proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. The answer is no. Number 10, the proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource. The answer was no. Number 11, the proposed action may result in a loss of recreational opportunities or a reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. The answer is no. Again, what it's done is going to increase your recreational opportunities. Number 12, the proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area. The answer is no. Number 13, the proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. The answer is no. The proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. The answer is yes, but the impact would be small or no impact. Number 15, the proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting. The answer is yes, but the impacts would be either no or small impacts. And lastly, the impact on human health. The proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. The answer would be no. I guess I misspoke. We've got two more questions. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans. The answer is no, because it is consistent with your land use plan. And lastly, the proposed project is inconsistent with the existing community character. The answer is no. So if you agree with those general opinions from our engineer, then we can go to the next level. The next level really wraps up the seeker, and it's part 3. Seeker is designed to see whether the proposed project would have an adverse environmental impact. If it has an adverse environmental impact, then we can't proceed without trying to mitigate it in some fashion. If we find that it's going to have no adverse environmental impact, then we say that it's available to get what's known as a negative declaration. It's not going to have an impact. And if that happens, then we can then look to your engineer and proceed with everything. So number 3, part 3 is the real key. What the language that I offered in part 3, based upon part 2, if that's acceptable, would be that you issue a negative declaration. And the determination of significance that I had suggested was as follows. The village board proposes to undertake the repairs to certain public docks, public restrooms, scenic view wharf, casino island, and water treatment plant that has been deemed to be necessary due to damages caused by flooding during 2017 and 2019. The village board finds that certain impacts associated with the repairs will have no or small impacts as specified on Seeker Long Form Part 2. Repairs will be undertaken using best practices, and as a result, the board hereby issues this negative declaration. But if that's acceptable, then what you would do is entertain a motion to issue a negative declaration.
I'll make a motion to do a negative declaration regarding the seeker for the Ready Grant.
I'll second it.
Motion made by trustee Fulmer, seconded by trustee Millett to declare a negative declaration for the seeker for the Ready project. Any other comment? Mm-hmm. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carried.
If I may approach, Mayor, I can present to you the part 3 and ask if you would, at page 2, there's a line for your signature, and if at some point by the end of the meeting, if you could simply sign and then provide that to the village clerk. And that way the village clerk can take the final steps with the seeker. Now, what that does, if you think it completes the seeker process, so now tomorrow I'll reach out to our engineer to make sure our engineer is aware of it. The engineer will want a copy of that part 3, and then it's off the races to get this project really underway.
Molly's off tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure that it goes to Gregor, and I'll also make sure that.
Well, what's her name will be here, right? What's
Oh,
the
Erica.
Erica.
Oh,
Deputy
okay,
clerk?
I didn't know that.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll reach out to Erica then.
Molly says we need a roll call vote for that.
Okay,
Trustee Millet,
yes.
trustee DeRigo,
Yes.
trustee Erb,
Yes.
trustee Fulmer,
Yes.
Mayor Jarvis, this is yes. Number 4 is the bond resolution for the Ready grant for $3,600,000.
So basically, we need a resolution for that?
I haven't been involved with that aspect at all.
That is through, Mr. Russell.
So we need a bond.
Pardon me?
Why is that one through
From
him?
who? Why is that through Joe Russell?
Because we use Barclay Damon for the bond resolution.
Oh,
So if
Through
you're
the
gonna do
Ready.
that, then, now, I'm not involved, but make sure your bond resolution, you must have at least 4
4
votes.
votes, and they gotta be
These
roll
were the
call.
special requirements under local finance law.
Yeah.
And
The-
to be
the-
honest with you, I think that Molly called your office on that, and they said that you guys couldn't do that.
I don't, we've got 2 others to do,
But-
no, it's fine, please, there's no.
Yeah.
I do remember, we do use
Yeah,
him,
remember that?
Barclay Damon,
Yeah, yeah.
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 In close, please find bond resolution to the amount of $3,600,000 for the Village of Alexandria Bay Ready Dock project and the stop the notice. To put this place, the village must do the following: pass a resolution, need a roll call of 4 of the 5 board members, will need to approve it, and publish a resolution in the village official newspaper within 10 days of adopting the resolution after 30 days of publication. If there are no petitions filed for a referendum, publish a estoppel notice in the official newspaper within 10 days. 20 days after the publication of the estoppel notice,
Well,
you may move forward and borrow the funds as
I'm
necessary.
in a board meeting too. I'll get back to it.
Is there anybody have any discussion on that?
No, I think that we should, make a motion.
Thank you.
to Go forward with
You're
it.
gonna make the motion?
I'll make a motion. Bye, Jim.
Thank you. I'll second the motion for a resolution for Ready Grant amount for $3.6 million.
And that's gotta be roll call also.
And if Molly would call or text and say whether we need to read it in its entirety or part. New wharf at Scenic View Park improvements to Casino Island adjacent Scenic View Park to include raising elevation of perimeter wall in the island and improvements to the village's water treatment plant located on Fuller Street.
She said you don't have to read the whole thing.
Okay. Motion by trustee Millet.
Yep.
Second by trustee Fulmer. Roll call vote. Trustee Millet.
Yes.
Trustee DeRigo.
Yes.
Trustee Erb.
Yes.
Trustee Fulmer.
Yes.
Mayor Jarvis, yes.
Actually, moving forward.
I wish we could've got to that next one, so we could've asked Jim that before he left.
What?
And the next one underneath that.
Yes, we can do it, but carefully.
Number 5 is budget limit spending amount.
I was gonna say something snarky and rude, so I will
That's all right, go ahead.
hold my tongue.
No.
I'm gonna say, when you wanna talk about, DPW cleaning up this mess and our police force, I don't think we need to really discuss budget amounts. Everyone should be well aware that we are short on everything. We took a huge amount of money out of our fund balance to meet our budget needs, and, I just don't think nobody should be spending unnecessarily, that's a given. I don't know if you need to put a limit on what's unnecessary.
Well, and I agree with you that we shouldn't have to, but, I mean, yesterday or day before, that you called me, and the first thing they said was they had money left over, and they wanted to buy the Jaws of Life just because they had 40,000 left over, instead of giving the money.
That's
they
not
don't.
necessary.
Huh?
And-
The fire department, that wasn't part of the budget.
Right, and we'd already voted it out,
Right, so why should they be, that doesn't
because
seem
they had money
like,
left over, they wanted to buy it.
That-
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
it wasn't approved in the budget when
And
we
it-
came
and it's-
around,
and
that
it-
now that they have money left over doesn't mean that
They don't though.
But they don't have money
And they
left
found
over.
out today that they thought they had 40,000 left. I don't know if you heard about it.
No, I didn't hear about that.
But they got the bills and stuff today, and when we got them all added up, it was over $29,000.
So there's,
Well, the world is a wonderful place if everybody does what they're supposed to do,
Mhm.
and that doesn't often happen. With the way everything is, I do not think, and my concern is, for purchases, is it what we need, or is it what we want? So, I would like to make a motion, or let's just talk first. I'd like to put a $500 spending limit on all departments. That if they need something, they need it. It's not that we just wanna go buy this new toy because we have extra money. And we're at a point in life with this COVID that this, we're almost to the end of May, and then we're gonna have to hold tough on our budgets. As we're saying here, even with doing this, and everything to me is 2, 2, and 2, 2 burgers, 2 beers, 2 drinks to go, we still have to hold tight to our budgets, because otherwise, we're gonna be taking more money out of our,
hold on.
general fund, and it's, to me, problematic. I think there should be some discussion about purchases.
Well,
I have Molly here. The other day, she was talking with Tina. And
Oh, I don't wanna go there with
Tina said that the fire department budget, because 2/3 of it comes from the town,
So then we
their
won't let
budget
them,
is, their budget is set.
we won't let them spend our 1/3.
Tina said that the fire department budget, because 2/3 of it comes from the town, so their
Okay.
budget is set. We won't let them spend our 1/3.
Molly, turn your computer off, or the sound off.
Turn my sound off, okay, hold on.
Yep, because it's repeating.
Yes.
being a joint account, I think that's what she's talking about, because the town controls part, and we control part.
Right.
When the village of Alexandria made their budget, when the village of Alexandria made their budget, that is the budget for the year. If the village wants to make any changes to that, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, if the village wants to make any changes to that, then we have to make amendments now. That means you are taking away from your original budget.
We aren't taking money away.
Well,
Yes, you are, because if you're setting limits, who's going to patrol your limits every day? And this is a conversation the mayor and I and your accountant had. You can set limits, that's okay, but you need to remember that you can't with a fire department, and unless it's a department that is making money, you can't, the village has no right to change this. You set your budget. If they ask for something astronomical, over $1,000 has to be done on a PO anyways.
You're saying every time that they spend $1,000, they have to get a PO?
If you have anything over $1,000,
well,
you have to have a PO.
do they ever?
Yes, they do. Oh, yeah, we do this all the time. That's part of your accounting. And just remember, they don't go through the board members. This has to come through me and your accountant and the mayor. The board has nothing, each department head has nothing to do with it. This is your financial portion of this. Steve, you were on the phone with me. Tina
Yep.
said, if you need a call, if this board needs a call to rectify this, she said, what we're doing, you need to actually amend your budget and cut your spending. And that's a board decision, but I'm just telling you what it is.
Right, no, I understand that, and I know that we did our budget before this COVID pandemic began, so life changed. So you're saying that if we want to change any of this, next meeting, we have to amend the budget?
You have to amend financials, so you wanna cut your budget, so take $20,000 off of spending for, just say,
If you don't wanna
take it out of the contractual of the DPW. I mean, if you put a $500 limit, Judy, on all these people, every time he goes to Garlock and orders, okay, not him, say your water department, Pat has to order, it's $2,500 or $3,000 each time he orders the DE or chlorine. Do we, every time, want to do this? I mean, this is just stop.
No, but see, I'm not worried about the water department.
They used to.
They used to what?
They used to have POs all the time years ago.
Right, but I know
$1,000
he,
for, it's $1,000 purchase that the village board made on POs previously. You can change it.
I didn't know it was $1,000.
Mm.
You wanna leave it $1,000?
I just want you to understand what you're asking
Yeah, I
your
think
village
$1,000's
to do.
fine.
If it's the way it is,
I think $1,000, it's $1,000 you said, right?
Correct, it's $1,000
I think
right now.
$1,000's fine.
Right, and I think, I'm fine with that, like I said, I didn't know, and as long as we're buying what we, in this age of COVID pandemic, we buy what we need, not what we want.
Right.
Okay, I'm fine with that then.
Okay, all right, just want everyone to be on the
I didn't
same
know
page
that
and
was-
understand,
Neither did
you
I.
know, the difference of, the legalities of what we can do.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
we're gonna plead ignorance.
okay, I'm off.
Okay.
Thank you.
On the next one there, I don't think I got a picture of it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I forgot about this one.
Number 6, Casino Island Ramp.
I'm not sure this takes up any less space than the last one.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
No, it comes out just as far as it did before, now it's just still taking up space.
This way, it's not sticking out and going down.
But it looks like it's sticking out just as far.
Sticking out just as far as it.
I think we need to price them both. Unless you say you
Yeah,
don't
let's price
want.
them both.
I mean, you tell me, you want, if you don't want, then.
I mean, unless it's gonna cost us a fortune to price them both.
No, they just go to, first they go to Fiaco to price, and then if we're happy with the pricing, we don't have to do
Julie,
it.
you don't have the one there that says how many feet that is down through there, do you have the first one?
No, not with me, I don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
bring
have
mine
mine
either.
Yeah, I'm looking for mine too. From the last one.
Well, that does look as long as the last one. It looks like he just put it as long as the last one, put a turn to come back, and then a turn to go
Yeah,
back down.
instead of coming this way into the island.
I don't have mine.
Give me a minute. I'll
You have yours, Steve?
Come on
get it
down.
on my phone.
I'll run home and get mine.
He's got it on his phone, I think, but it still doesn't give the dimensions, so it doesn't matter. I'd really like to know what it is from point A to point B, the first one, and the same thing on the other one, don't you, Julia? Cause it looks the same length,
I bet it's the same, it's just
turned.
wider instead of coming into the island like that. That's aesthetically whichever one you want.
I mean, that's taking up a lot more space. Don't you think?
Well, when you look at it that way.
Huh? I mean, we had one straight one, now we got 3.
Shuki.
That the new one, or the old one?
That's the old one. It's, 6, 29, and 6.
6, 29, and 6, okay.
That's going down,
35, 40, that's 40 feet.
and then the hook, this is
40.
30 feet.
Okay, 40 one way and 30 across. 40
Yes.
by 30. Okay, what's the other one? Because you can't tell on here. I can't see them figures. Can you see them?
This is 6,
Looks like 6, 6.
6, 5, and 25. So there's
right there.
36, 7 foot 10,
We're doing all that for shortening that 4 feet. Right?
The length of the crisscross is 15,
What was the
20
length of the
20
first one,
foot.
Bubba?
and it's,
What was the length of the first one?
40 feet. 40 by 30.
and this is 36.
Yeah, I can't, those numbers are so small, I can't see
36
them.
by,
Even with my glasses.
There we go, we're gonna get the figures right here.
Probably Thomas.
just,
Village office.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Bubba, it's Thomas again.
Okay, go ahead.
I was calling, so, no matter what, there has to be the same amount of ramp because of the ADA requirements. So, looking at this, like the zigzag, I think the only thing that we could do is have them pull it as tight as possible to that wing wall, and that'll shrink up how far it comes out on the island.
It's only not coming out 4 different feet. Cause the other one was 40 feet and this one's 36, it's only 4 feet.
Yes, no, I just did.
I mean, so
yeah.
it's a waste.
If we can, you see how there's the gap between that landing and where the
Yep.
wing wall is?
Yep,
Yeah,
I think the only thing we can do is we can pull that into that wing wall closer. Because how high the ramp is off the ground, there's so many linear feet that we need in order to make this ADA compliant.
Which one do you think is gonna be more expensive?
zigzag.
Probably talking to Gregor, the zigzag one is probably gonna be a little more expensive.
And we don't have a ton of money left, right?
No, we have like $120,000.
Judy, I mean, when you figure that out, you're talking 4 feet shorter, but it's gonna go wider, so we're losing footage wider. I better just go straight down through and stay close to the, the front, and we're only losing it in 1 spot instead of 2 spots. We're losing it in 2 spots otherwise. Almost 3 spots if you look at it. Really is 3 spots.
because they're coming out, man.
Well,
Yeah.
the big thing's gonna be the funding for it.
Well, the straight one, I think there was enough money there for it. Wonder,
Well, we would just have them get prices on both of them.
they can, because it's not gonna cost
It's
anything.
not gonna cost any more money to get prices on both of them, right?
No, I mean, we should be able to get a ballpark number based on the, rough cubic yards, concrete, and rails and stuff. They should be able to give us a rough number
Okay.
for Gregor to see the design.
And that's Fiasco or just in-house?
Jaco should be able to put a number on it.
Okay, yeah, let's get a price on both.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
sounds good.
Thanks, Tom.
I like the way the
Right.
zigzag, I
Thank
think
you.
the zigzag looks better, because the other one, it's like, it was very jarring, it came out and it's on the left, or on the right. Well, I just, what?
Yeah, I think it's too expensive.
Well, if it's more expensive, then we don't do it.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot more expensive, there's a lot of
It all
cement
depends
now.
on
Yeah, you get
dollars.
an extra
Well,
cement in
well,
there.
you figure that this right here is only 4 feet shorter than the other one, so we got all of this cement.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so, and all that extra railing.
Yeah, I can't even see those.
So table that till we get,
We get price.
40.
Yeah, yeah, I think we should, don't you?
Yeah,
table till we get prices.
Yep.
yep.
Anything else under old business?
Nothing I know.
Okay, I did forget, a correspondence, so I wanna jump on that right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think we had a residence correspond to that.
Attention Alexandria Bay Village Board, as a taxpayer and also a senior citizen, I'd like to know why the decision has been made to limit play on the golf course to walkers only. There are a lot of golfers who are physically unable to carry a golf bag and walk the course. As a homeowner, we are paying taxes for this course, but are not able to play under these limitations. Social distancing can be done with carts on the course. Not allowing us with carts is discrimination. Peter and Rachel Scott.
Well, let's have them monitor them out there.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't Como State not like private golf courses could do
Well,
it, but not public courses?
The way they're listing them, cause I got the paper, I read it
Original.
today, profit and non-profits. Profits are ones that are owned by private people.
Yeah,
So,
we're a nonprofit.
so they have somebody out there that's
Yeah.
on the course, and they're essential. Our people aren't essential.
Mhm.
I read the paper today, and as of 3:30 today, when I got off the phone with them, the golf course maintenance men, in other words, the guys mowing and stuff, can work there as of starting today. But the clubhouse, no selling food, no bathrooms, none of that stuff right now, until next week on the golf course. And then the bathrooms, I think, will come on the bathroom, like the other bathrooms did.
And what about golf carts?
But, who's gonna monitor the golf carts?
Yeah, that's the
That's the
problem.
problem with the golf carts. You can have people out there with private golf carts, but I'm out there playing golf with my golf cart, you come along and I say, hey, you wanna play golf with me? And you climb in the golf cart with me, you don't know me from man on the moon, you're playing golf with me. I know that there's social distancing, everybody thinks about it and everything else, but young kids don't know the difference, they'll jump in,
Well,
right?
how do
So we have to be very careful on that.
to be on two on a golf cart, you have to be family.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But-
how are we gonna monitor that?
Exactly.
That's not
Yeah.
our job.
Yeah, but I was also, at the same time, with that letter, they've said that we could, if we wanted to, open the clubhouse and have somebody in there and with a locked door, one person go in the clubhouse at a time, they could go in and pay their fees and stuff, and if they had their own golf cart, we're the only golf course around that allows golf carts on there in a private anyway.
Yeah, well, that in itself
Yeah,
is a problem.
but if they have their golf carts, we don't have to monitor their golf carts anymore, now. Because we have nobody there to monitor. If there's a handicapped person and we decide that we want to rent golf carts, we have to only allow one person on, they have to prove that they're handicapped, show some handicap situation. And then, when they come back, we have to clean the golf cart. And then we have to have the golf cart there, and then the next person comes in. So it's a real catch-22. So, I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
Well, what do you wanna do?
No golf carts.
You know, if, I don't know about private golf carts out there, I mean, who's gonna monitor it?
Okay,
You know?
so can I just throw something
Yep,
out there?
absolutely.
With this food and drinking that we're allowing, is someone monitoring that the people sitting at the picnic table are all family members, or that they're sitting 6 feet apart? Nobody's doing that. I
Right.
mean, if you wanna say people can bring their own carts and go, I mean, if you're gonna start opening up the golf course and it's not even June 1st, so all this talk of our budget again, how we were gonna save some money because we weren't gonna be doing things because of the coronavirus, and now we're gonna be doing all kinds of things. So our budget will be the way it is, and we'll be paying people to run the clubhouse and clean carts and clean doorknobs and all that kind of stuff.
And I agree with
At some point, you're either gonna have to, and if we're already approving the drinking, you might as well approve going up there and playing golf,
Well-
put someone up there.
So you say allow the golf carts to go up there that are people's golf carts, but not put ours out there?
Well, unless you're gonna pay, hire somebody
See,
to
and
go out there and clean golf
I
balls
really don't have
and
a problem with
this
that
and
anymore,
You're
now that
talking
they've
about
approved it.
who's policing, and this is a big question.
Well, yesterday-
Cuomo says, you know, with all these phases and all these things going on, it's local officials who are supposed to be policing this. So, he's not taking responsibility for it, we're supposed to take
No, we're
responsibility for
not,
it.
the county is.
Oh, well, the county has done a terrible job,
Well, you know what?
and
But-
because, by not doing anything, it just allows a free-for-all.
I'm not taking a shift to go down and tell people they gotta set apart.
They gotta what?
They can't sit together.
Oh, no, we
not.
can't do that, no.
So,
But I would say to save
When-
money,
When do we
Oh,
normally
they-
open the golf course?
May 1st. But I think that Jared and the crew have been doing a great job out there.
Yeah, but
they've been really
Jared
bust-
needs some help cutting
Yeah,
grass.
Jared come in today, and he took today off, but he come in at 6 o'clock this morning and mowed the greens on his own time.
Well, I think
Well,
we
he shouldn't
need
be
to
doing
bring,
anything on his own time.
we need to
like
bring
against
somebody
the
in,
law.
a part-timer to help cut that grass.
Well, that's, you know,
That's part of this
That's
that's part of this discussion,
Well,
right.
when we
so-
get down there, yeah.
Alright,
But,
let's,
That's
If-
all, that's
if-
under golf stocks
if
park.
they,
Let's-
if they
let's
take,
go down
You
to-
know that bug?
if they, where?
You don't see that bug, Colin?
Yeah.
Jump down to
If
what?
if they take golf carts on there, they should have to pay to have their golf cart on there, right?
Wait, I'm confused. What are we jumping down to?
No, we're
Well,
still on the golf carts,
we're
right?
talking about the private golf carts going on there, right?
Yeah, private golf carts, I mean, they've always had to pay a fee to have their golf cart on the golf course.
Okay, we're under new business number 1, golf stocks park, right?
well, not yet.
There's
Well-
something before that?
Yes,
Well-
we need to go back to the table of the price, for the prices on the ramps and get a
Why did
motion.
you open the correspondence?
I thought we.
Need a motion
No.
to table, we just said we'll table it. We need a
Oh.
motion.
I'll
to
make a
table.
motion, we, table, Casino Island ramp.
Motion by trustee DeRigo.
I'll second it, we're in a stall
Trustee-
here.
Millet, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Okay,
So now we're back to number 1
Golf
under
course
new.
is-
yes,
Right.
thank you.
Now wait, I think, let's deal with golf. I think, number 1, we need to bring somebody in to just cut the grass. Because I don't, to me,
They're killing themselves over there.
Jared is killing himself, and Jared's time is better spent doing other stuff than cutting the greens every day. So,
And
who are you gonna bring back?
Well, we got 2 guys, we got Dan and Bud, whichever one wants to come back, they're both good.
So
If one wants,
We've got more
Bud would have
seniority.
first choice, and if he
so
decides
if Bud doesn't wanna come back,
we'll
you're gonna
bring
bring,
Dan back.
and when can you officially do
Let's
golf course?
not open the golf course till June 1, when the new budget comes out. You're only talking about.
But we have to get a maintenance guy in there as soon as possible.
Right.
A
Are we
mower,
gonna
a
open
grass
the golf
mower.
course?
Yes.
Are we gonna, I mean, we'll have him put the pins in, we have no pins, no benches, no.
Well, you can't have flags and pins.
You can have
have
the
any
wall
of that
washers
stuff
and all
because-
that.
See, that's the problem.
People
You
touch
put the
golf.
pins in, then you gotta put a thing in the hole, then you gotta have somebody
can't do
wipe the
any of that.
pins off. Huh?
You can't do any of that.
I think we should just put a guy over there to do some
Cut the grass.
maintenance to help him out. And, let's not make a choice on it until we talk to Jared, who he'd like to have, because Jared's really the head of all the workers.
Right, but you
Let's
have
talk with him.
one of 2,
Well,
but when are you
we
gonna,
got one other guy on there.
officially, when can you do golf? You said something next week.
Well, you can play golf starting next week,
Okay.
okay?
But we need
No,
the
they
grass
already
cut
started
now.
playing golf.
Well,
though. You
Oh,
can-
But it's
that's
not open,
private.
they're playing golf.
well,
But we're not open.
alright, the
we're-
private sectors are,
Yeah.
they are open, not the,
But do we want to open, or do we just wanna do maintenance and allow them to play over there?
because once you open it up, then you're gonna have to start sanitizing everything up there.
Yeah, that's
And
one.
sanitize the carts and the whole 9 yards, I mean,
I
you're,
think the number one is the maintenance guy to come in to relieve Jarrett from the mowing. That's the first priority we need to do.
Jared's back Monday, so talk to him Monday about bringing
Tuesday.
somebody back.
On Memorial Day?
Monday's
I'm
holiday.
sorry, Tuesday.
okay.
I
Right.
forgot.
We'll talk, we'll find out if he wants another guy.
He does.
And I
He
know he
does.
does, I know he does, and who he wants, because there's one other guy's name on there that I'd like to use him for multi-purpose, and we've talked about him, and he worked at the golf course,
Okay.
and he can do all that stuff too, so maybe we could use him to clean them bathrooms, pick up the garbage, and do that stuff.
So is Jared coming
I
in?
mean, earn his money, huh?
Is Jared coming in tomorrow to cut grass?
No,
No, I think Tim cut them, last time when Jared went there, Tim, not Tim, the big Tim guy, I can't think of.
Tim Traer.
Yeah.
From Jared, okay. Okay,
So
He's
I would
under
just,
control.
I would just let people know, because there's been a lot of talk, like, on Facebook and emails and all the rest of it. that they just should let the people, if they wanna go up there and play golf, let them go
They
play.
can't, they've
and
been
play
open
golf.
all along.
Yep.
And there's not gonna
But
be no
we're-
pins, there's not gonna be any pins in, or
But
there's
we're
not
not
gonna be
allowed, are we
at the.
allowing golf carts?
We're not allowing our
No
golf
golf
carts, that's what we gotta
Right.
decide,
Well,
are we
the-
gonna allow private golf carts?
I would say yes, and let them worry about them, if they wanna put, we don't need to police it, and they wanna put 25 people in the golf cart, then let them do it.
But,
And tip it over, and then they'll be,
right, but people pay to have a private golf cart. Are they
Well,
still
I
going
think they
to-
have to for insurance reasons, don't they?
Yes.
Yes.
So if they want private golf carts, they have to deal with it, and I'd say, you know, the rule with Cuomo is one person on a cart.
that's your family member.
Unless your family,
Oh,
according
right,
to
right,
the
Right,
Yeah.
family member
guidelines.
you can have too, so.
And then end of May, we decide if we wanna open it again, to see how it all
Yeah,
looks.
I mean, we'll have time, then, yeah.
Just so people know that that's the way we feel about it.
All right, that's all.
So we allowed the family carts, or private carts,
Private carts.
paying
They have
for
to
the
come
rent.
here to pay,
Yeah.
come
Yes.
to the office to pay in the office,
Mhm.
okay?
Okay, that's part one. Or
That's
let's
part
go
one,
two.
docks.
Uh-oh,
Here we go.
hold on, that's Molly.
Village office,
Hey, it's Molly.
yeah,
So want to have a golf cart on the course, private, they have to pay, the fees.
Yeah, we said,
Yes.
yeah, we
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Okay, got it. I'm like minutes behind you, sorry,
Yeah,
but,
no, we said they gotta pay the fees.
Yeah.
For their own golf cart,
okay, got it.
All right,
Okay.
thanks.
yep.
The docks at 3:30 this afternoon, Hagerman said that we could open up the bathrooms on the dock. And the ones at the park, and that's what time he called, so we didn't have time to even get a hold of DPW or nothing.
Right.
I've already called Jared, and he's gonna call the guys in the morning to lay out the bathrooms.
Okay. We
Do
have.
we turn them on ourselves, do we have to have
Yeah,
them
no,
contract?
no.
Our DPW,
Does it?
We
Yes.
don't want
Turn them
that.
on,
Both
okay.
are working.
they've done it, yeah.
Okay, who's gonna clean them?
Okay, now this is the second thing is, when the guys, the downtown people said, the business people said that they would monitor them, some for us this weekend, cause we have nobody here, you know. We'll open them up, they'll monitor them.
Well, you can't open them unless we're gonna have somebody clean them, you said 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, but like Critter said he, monitor them, check them.
What does monitor mean?
Clean them,
them?
clean them,
Say-
yeah,
say
clean them, wash
clean,
them,
then
squirt them
bellyache
down
to
and stuff like
somebody?
that. Huh?
I said, go in, see that they're nasty, and then bellyache to somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, is he gonna go in and clean them?
This is the guy I'd really like to have come back to do the upper bathrooms, the lower bathrooms,
Who?
pick up the garbage on the
On
weekend.
weekends.
On weekends and stuff is Johnny Chalk.
John Chuck, yes.
I
The
think-
guy that did it at the park last year?
Exactly. He
I
did-
think, what time would you have him?
I think that we should, the DPW is here during the day,
On weekend?
no, during
Monday
the
through
week.
Friday.
So
Okay.
we could shorten him during the week and make him longer can they work longer weekends, days, or not?
8 hours.
8
They
hours.
only can work 8?
How many hours a week is he gonna work?
Well, that's what we gotta talk about, yeah.
Well, the thing is,
He's a 40-hour.
if he's 4 hour worker, he could work 10 hours one day and 6 hours the other day, and if he gets as long as he gets 40 hours in, you can split it up, I believe. I mean,
Yeah, because we really only need somebody down there maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
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 right, yeah, 'cause things ain't gonna be popping.
I don't think
mean,
it's gonna be as
part-time.
busy as everybody thinks.
We could bring him in part-time for right now, just to make sure the bathrooms are getting clean.
Well, you're gonna have a hard time bringing somebody in part-time with this $600, incentive unemployment.
Yeah,
check.
but sure, the thing is, if he's part-time and he only makes so much a week, he still gets 600.
Only can work 22 hours.
Is that the limit?
22 is the
hours.
limit.
And then they lose
Then they lose
the
their
unemployment benefit.
Well, I mean,
It's tough, I mean, if we bring him back, I mean, it's not like we couldn't use him someplace else, he can work at the golf course. I mean, he mows greens, he's weed eats, he does that. He could work at the village park up there and help them guys. Them guys did all the mowing up there, he could help them up there and the bathrooms.
Well, if you're gonna
I mean,
unlock
we got-
bathroom doors tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, or whatever the time we're doing it for the weekend,
What's that?
if we're unlocking bathroom doors tomorrow afternoon at
Mhm.
4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, who's gonna be here tomorrow night to clean them, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday? It's either
Like,
that,
like Critter was gonna monitor them.
Well, I would say tomorrow, that one of our DPW guys, we gotta turn the water on anyways, right?
right, but who's gonna do it after 4 o'clock,
After 3 o'clock.
or after 3 o'clock?
Well, you know, nothing like getting short notice on it, we got it at 3:30.
Right.
I mean.
I mean, the thing is,
You think about
Well,
it,
just 'cause it
No,
says you
no, the
can
notice
open it,
says-
doesn't mean you have to.
right, but the
keep them
problem
shut
is,
till
if
the
you
weekend's
are
over.
going to have people coming into the village this weekend, there are no restaurant bathrooms open. So our public bathrooms would be the only bathrooms that there are.
all right, tomorrow's
They can take
Thursday.
their food and go.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, it is, yeah, I lost a day too, and these.
It doesn't matter, we open the docks, we open the pavilion, you still have bathrooms to be cleaned.
Right, so who's gonna clean the bathroom?
Yeah, and here we go. Are we gonna, problem is, if we'd known this before, we could've
That's what I'm
had
saying,
one
we
guy,
gotta switch now.
one of the DPW guys could've took a day off this week and put him on for the
Exactly,
weekend.
because I talked to Hagerman at 8:30 this morning on this question.
Yeah, they didn't
8:30
know.
this morning, it was absolutely no.
No,
Absolutely
So
no.
again, just 'cause you can doesn't mean you have to. So what were we gonna do? Because if they didn't say you could open the bathrooms by 4 o'clock today or tomorrow, whenever they told you you could, what were we gonna do? 'Cause people were still gonna come to Alice Bay for
Yeah.
the weekend
Yeah.
and get their food to go. And now that they can get their food and drink, you're saying we have to have bathrooms open for them? Well, like, hold it till you get home. I don't know what to say. I mean, you're all, it's just, once you open the can, it's, you know, you've let the genie out. So,
What would you suggest? What would you think?
I was back at number one, we wouldn't be in this situation. So,
I mean.
I don't have any good answers to this.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
there is
So,
really
There's
no,
no-
good-
there is no good
there's no good
you
answer for
figure
this at
this
all.
out.
Huh?
I said, you guys can figure this out.
You're us.
Yeah, right, again,
I just, you know, I mean, it's a tough call. Well, the only thing that we can do is,
can we call John
let me ask
tomorrow?
you this, how does the pay period end? How does the pay period end with the guys?
I don't know, what does that matter?
Thursday through Wednesday.
Thursday through Wednesday? So why can't we talk to Jared about having a guy come in on the weekend and then giving days off during the week, this next week?
so it is Memorial Day weekend. Nobody was planning on working it.
Yeah, you don't have that,
You think, I mean, you can ask
I know it's a
DPW,
tough-
but I can't.
I mean, you might
Oh, I
get,
agree.
I work
you might get
Monday
one of
through
us,
Friday, and I finally got this Monday off, you couldn't call me to come in for nothing.
You weren't answering your phone, are you?
well, the thing is too, I mean, because of everything that's going on, you might get one of those young kids that are not gonna do anything, or, you know, somebody out there might not have anything planned, and tell them they're gonna get another day off get a day off next week, and he's gotta work the weekend or something. I mean, Jared might know who might be able to do it, I mean, we got,
Jared's off, so we
Okay.
have to assume we cannot talk to Jared till Tuesday. And we bother that poor man too much on the time that he does take off.
okay,
One of us needs to say, I will call John Chalk and see if he wants to work Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, if that's the guy you want back. If you're gonna have bathrooms open, that's what we have to do for this weekend.
I'll call John
Do the
tomorrow.
parts.
I'll call John tomorrow.
What do you guys think? Is that what you guys think you should?
I mean, and, you know, if they get them open tomorrow, they're clean, and then somebody's gotta, you know, if he's willing to work, excuse me, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and he cleans dog bathrooms and
right.
park bathrooms, then,
Let's, see if he'll do it, if not, we'll get them cleaned up and then lock them for the weekend. That,
well, it's stupid to open them then.
no, well, I'm just saying, you gotta open them up sometime.
Let's see what we can do tomorrow,
Right,
and
and then
I
go
will, keep everybody text as to.
Okay, what's going on?
I mean, I just feel bad because, you know, that kid didn't have any idea that this was coming, you know, Johnny Chalk. And-
So, I get it.
He has to wear it.
He's probably out camping.
Wait, I'm confused, isn't John an older man?
No, he's young.
Oh, I don't know who that is then. I always saw an older man
He's
walking around the
not,
park.
Johnny Chalk, what is he, maybe, he might be 4.
He's,
I don't
He
know.
might be.
Oh, he's not a
he's
kid.
50.
Well, he's a kid to me.
Okay.
I get a text from Mark Reynolds, having bathrooms open is imperative if we are going to have people in the village. Would the hotels downtown have housekeeping staff willing to clean bathrooms 4 or 5 times?
Tell him
I'm
we've
sure
already
that's
been
not gonna
talking.
happen, that's like saying Quidder's gonna go monitor them and clean them.
What, not, the word's not
No, wait.
monitor, the word is, I'm tripping over myself.
Yeah.
The word
So let
is
me call
clean.
John, and then I
Yeah.
will let everybody know
I
what's
mean,
going on, and
I'd really like to see him open because,
yes.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a mess all over town.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So who's gonna pick up the trash all weekend?
He can do that too.
let me tell you
That's
something.
it, they have-
Let me tell you
Clean
something.
bathroom and
He
pick
called
up
a guy
trash.
in last weekend, which I was very upset about, because I met him downtown, because somebody called, because it was so messy downtown. You know how many trash bags he brought? He didn't have not one full trash bag.
Well, that call was a mistake,
That was a bad deal.
because you pay a
Who made that
minimum.
call?
$33 an hour we paid that guy to come in and pick up a couple garbage bags.
Who made that call?
I did.
You were
I know
downtown and it
that,
looked
I know
that
the
messy?
garbage can at Jarex was overflowing because I picked up the garbage in the street
Push it down,
and,
that's all it has to
Grab
be.
it.
and
Trash
I
yourself and
did,
put it in
and
your
it
bag
was
in.
right to the top of the cover.
Well,
So we called him in for one bag.
for 2 hours, minimum,
Isn't it, is it minimum
Okay.
2 or 4?
I think it's
Two.
2.
2? Right. Okay.
So you'll let us know by lunchtime about John Chalk.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And I just got text his telephone number. Parks, number 3.
That's the same thing with the bathrooms and stuff up there.
It's the bad, okay, what'd they say about playground?
No,
still
no,
a
you
no?
can't do.
No, playgrounds, no.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
And in the bathrooms,
This is an adult only
speaking of the bathrooms,
weekend.
this is something else we have to do on the bathrooms. Steve, make sure this gets done. It has to be done. There has to be a sign on the bathroom. One person at a time. Only
Who's
one
gonna
per,
stand at the door?
who cares? It's a law. You
As
gotta
As
do
long
it.
as we got our sign up
My
there,
guy.
that's all.
So we
As long
gotta
as we
make
got
it-
our
we
sign
also-
saying 1 person at a time, if they wanna go in there,
So you're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4 signs tomorrow that say
Yeah.
one person at a time only,
Yeah.
laminated, and
Yeah.
then somebody staples them up on the doors, the guys. The
They
problem
have-
with all of
They
this
have
is-
to be done, yeah.
Is that it's all last minute.
Yeah, yeah, well, you know, you can put a sign on this door right here and leave it open and it doesn't mean anything.
I know.
But he told us we had to have that on
Like everywhere.
there.
yeah.
And they have to wear masks.
Is Erica in all day tomorrow?
They have to have a mask on to go in that bathroom too.
The user,
A person going in the bathroom has to have a mask
have a
and
mess.
one person at a time. Sometimes they go in there and cough and sneeze and everything else, and he just got done cleaning them and don't come back for 4 hours.
Number 2 is rollover time.
Okay, wait, one more thing.
Yep.
Last year, he started at what time, John Chalk?
In the daytime? He was
Yeah.
there at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 4, wasn't he? Monday
Yes.
through Friday.
But
Okay, but we don't need him at 8
No.
o'clock, so what
No, we
time do
don't.
you want him?
Well, I don't think,
10 to,
no, I think later than that, I think noon, don't you?
Yeah.
No?
if they're doing takeout, if they're doing 2 burgers, 2 beers, and 2 drinks,
11 o'clock,
11.
start.
Starting at 11.
you have to be at 11.
And,
No, I don't have to
there
be.
ain't
Well, I
gonna
mean-
be 2,000 people down here on Friday
The
afternoon
DPW
at
can
11
open
o'clock.
up the bathrooms during the week.
Saturday,
and
same way.
And, the guy that's cleaning the streets or street sweeping, there's no reason they can't open those doors. And,
Well, we
you're
can
only
work
talking
out
1
next
hour.
week, who's
Yeah.
doing, well, all we're worried about right now is Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday.
I know that.
So what time do you want him
Noon.
in?
So what time do you
Yeah.
want John Chalk
Yeah,
in for?
noon.
Noon.
12 to 4?
12 to 8?
What
you
time
gonna-
do we close on that? Do we close them?
No, we never have.
Well, we
So
have
we'll
to,
clean
no,
it
we
and-
make a point of closing the bathrooms. You can't, you have to. You can't leave them open overnight.
I would say, are you gonna bring them in full-time?
We're gonna have to. 'cause he's
Okay,
not
if you're gonna
come
bring them
home.
in full-time, then 12, then
1 to 9? That's 8 hours. 12 to 9?
well, the thing
And
is,
12 to 9 with the, hour for a meal.
If he'll do it.
right,
I mean, if I were somebody, and you're not gonna give me full time, I'm gonna stay on unemployment.
Right, it's gotta be
Yeah,
the
that's-
40
that's-
hours.
that's the problem.
right.
It all depends what they say.
I think that if he opts out, then our.
Molly says he was part-time, not 40 hours.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
gonna need,
He's still drawing, well, we'll leave it up to him if he wants to be full-time or
no,
part-time.
you don't want a full-timer.
Full-time,
There goes
then
the
you gotta
budget
give 'em
again.
benefits and
No.
stuff.
Yeah, but-
No, it's full-time seasonal.
Oh, we
Well,
don't-
yeah, full-time.
Yeah, but we don't want him, if he didn't do 40 hours last year, we don't want him 40 hours this year, because then already again,
So
we're
we do
changing.
30.
Yeah, but
32.
we're gonna have more trash and more bathroom usage and all that kind of
Okay,
crap.
so whatever
Yeah,
he
because
did
other
last
bathrooms
year,
aren't gonna be used at all, so we're gonna have a tough time.
whatever hours, if he worked 20 hours last year, we gotta work him 20 hours this year, and he's gotta be the person that covers the weekend.
Yeah, but I think he worked more than 20 though, I think.
What did Molly say, 20?
But you still take it.
He may say no when we're all done anyway, so.
Yeah.
If you close the
Yeah, but
bathroom,
no, the thing is though, if he refuses,
He loses
Come-
his unemployment.
yes. He refuses, then we can say he could come back to work, and then, because
and why
We
would
get
you
that.
do
my
that?
wife was supposed to go back to work, I mean, they sent a text message out, they told everybody in the text message, if you don't come back to work,
You're done.
you're done, and then we're
Well,
gonna
then if I
report
was
you to
Mr. Chalk,
unemployment.
I wouldn't answer the phone tomorrow.
Okay, so,
Molly says if you close the bathrooms at night, they kick the doors in and smash the bathrooms. So we have to leave them unlocked, but we don't clean them until the next
he can
morning.
be part-time, seasonal, 40 hours, and do all aspects.
He can be
That's
part-time
right.
40?
Yep.
Okay, well then,
There
but
you go.
how many hours did he work last year?
Molly.
Well, we'll
Hold
let
on, hold on.
him
Hold
decide
on.
up to 4.
No, if he didn't work 40 last year, we don't want him 40 this year, because then you're blowing your budget again.
We're using him in more than one
budget.
place though. We're not hiring anybody at the dock.
Yeah, we're not gonna be
at the
hiring
park.
anybody for a
So
while
we're
here.
back and forth, he's working 2 jobs, you know
Yeah,
what
he's
I
gonna
mean?
be doing the docks
And the garbage.
and all the
So-
garbage, and
so
and clean the
he's-
bathrooms,
He's
and
gonna,
he's got
hopefully he'll step up
two
to.
places.
So
That's
when
three-
you-
That's
when-
3 positions.
So when you do decide to open the dock, we do decide, you're gonna move him from cleaning bathrooms to somewhere else, and then your dock attendants are gonna clean the bathrooms?
The
Dock
dock attendants
attendants
will,
clean.
that'll be part of their job,
Right.
yes it
Okay.
is.
Always did.
I think that the word dock attendance is gonna be dock attendant.
Right, one
Exactly.
dock attendant,
I
right?
think we only need
One.
one this year.
Yep.
Right.
I would, if he, whatever he works, you know,
Well, let me call him tomorrow, we'll
Yeah,
let everybody
we
know.
really need him Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday this week.
for right now, that's all we
This
need to
week.
cover the
Then we'll go to the
weekend.
rest after that, yeah.
Right.
But we can't get him on working and then take it away from him, so we better know.
You still need the help, because you got
Yeah.
DPW that is stretched thin right now.
They've
You
done
need to make a
great job.
motion to hire him.
Huh?
You need a motion to hire him,
I think that we wanna make a motion to hire a person,
a person.
you okay? Because if he doesn't do it, then we can still, is that all right?
I don't care who the person is.
So you're making a motion?
No, I'm not. I said you need to before you go on.
The bathroom's been closed all spring and nobody's broke the doors in yet.
Yeah.
Nobody
Because
here.
everybody's been quarantining.
Yeah,
Well, they still are really.
Yeah,
No, they're,
well,
they won't be.
they
Have you
won't
seen
be.
pictures of the beaches in New Jersey?
We're nothing like New Jersey.
The
know.
picture of our playground
The other
yesterday.
day.
All right, I'll make
Okay.
a motion that we hire,
She already made a motion.
no, she
No,
don't have nothing to do
No,
with
I
it.
said you need to make a motion.
Oh, I
I'll
thought
make
you
a
did. I'm sorry.
motion that we hire somebody to monitor the bathrooms,
No, it's somebody for part-time to do,
right, part-time cleaning.
that way we can put them wherever we want.
Right.
If we put
Okay.
back in, then we're kinda jeopardizing ourselves, don't you think?
I'll
Right.
second the motion for maintenance person,
Okay,
part-time.
Motion by trustee
Not to-
Dorito, second by trustee Fulmer, to hire a part-time maintenance worker for the summer. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay.
Anything else?
On that?
No, we beat that to death.
Really? Number 2 is rollover time
No, we
for
get paid for it.
Molly,
Not just Molly, I'll tell you what.
Dan, Bill Brown.
What happened was, with all this stuff going on, and we've been very good about not hiring anybody back, you know, at any of these places. And the DPW and Molly haven't used up their vacation time that they had coming to them. And what I've done when I worked for other places, and we always had to cut back on help and stuff, we always gave them a term date. In other words, we extend it from, it's supposed to be used by June 1, we could extend it to September 1st, or, December 1st, or whatever. And I think, and I've talked to most of them that have time left, I think if we do until Labor Day, extend what they have left for vacation time going into.
Do we know how much time everybody has?
Yeah, Brewster's got like 3 days, I think Jared's got, I think he's got a
He
week,
has a chart?
Molly has
4 days, I think.
40.88 on
She's
vacation.
tomorrow.
Personal time is 16.5.
So it's
Excuse me.
all the time,
Huh?
all
2.8,
the time, that personal time and that
7.5,
vacation. It's a lot of hours.
Yeah, but they couldn't
15.
take any time off, that's the problem.
these are different people.
Right, because we're
19,
because we're working the few people we have, like, to the bone, doing everything
That's
there
right.
is to do.
Yeah. Or we could've spent the money and hired somebody that been there and they could've took time off, so. It's catch
Who's
22.
the last one that you're looking at?
Brewster.
He's
What
got
does he
3
have?
days, got 3 days on me.
You made a face.
I must be reading it wrong, 'cause it says 160, but that's,
I'll say,
It's
their
not-
personal time and stuff like that, they can carry over forever and ever, right?
yes.
It's only the vacation time.
Okay, nice.
no, see, it's
Add
different with the state.
vacation, personal.
This contract is different.
And, Molly,
time-
if you can hear us, it's just vacation time and that,
Give me a yes or a no.
cause the rest of it, I think they can accumulate and get bought out at the end of their
So-
thing.
Talking about some of this stuff and like Molly taking vacation, what are we doing for help with her in the office?
Erica. She's in there. She's gonna be there Friday.
No, I mean, like, what are we gonna do for help with, what? Okay, later. Okay, I got it. So you're saying executive section?
Yes.
Okay.
Executive session.
That's not
all right,
on
'cause I
here.
wanted to get Julie on,
That's
make sure
not on
Julie's
here.
on board. No, I know it is.
Okay,
Hold it, jeez. Because it takes a while for the system, that's something we have to get.
Get it fixed or get rid of it.
I think he said it's a 15-second delay.
It's more than 15.
Yeah, it's a lot more than 15.
It's either 15 seconds or 15 minutes.
We were up that other one and they were banging us as quick as we were saying it, and it's the same company.
No, we'll get it fine-tuned. Personal time,
Personal time too?
personal time, she said.
Personal time? How come vacation time isn't on there?
Is it both?
She just said personal time.
personal time, because the same way, if it works for the state, May 28th, I was hired. You have the whole year to use up your personal time. Then, if you don't use it, you lose it, on your personal time only.
What about vacation?
Vacation, you can build, well,
You can build that up.
That's how
Yeah.
it's backwards.
Vacation-
If I ever heard
Figure
anything.
out which one it is.
vacation is anniversary dates.
Vacation, when the state works, vacation, you can build it up. They
Right,
want
but
to, when you
we
retire,
shouldn't, I understand that, but we should not encourage everybody to build up their vacation. You know, we're in a position now where like she just said, we're working our DPW guys and Molly to death. They need their vacation and their personal time, so, you know, we have to have them take it at some point. So, you know, yeah, I wanna roll it over, but I would say have everybody use it by.
Vacation time and personal time, or just personal time? So, oh, okay.
Yeah, they, like Jared, he doesn't take vacation time. Well, then he takes it and comes in and cuts grass.
So
He
you
should be
lose your
paid.
personal time if you lose it?
yeah, that's what, yeah,
Okay, alright, okay.
that's it, I know. Right?
Just personal time.
Roll
Right,
over
there-
personal time.
Everybody's vacation is based on their anniversary date.
Right, but I'm gonna say to you, I can't use all my vacation time because I don't have time because you're making me work for COVID because you're trying to save money.
But-
So
but,
we're
you
gonna
know,
deal with
we're
them
not-
one at a time.
We're gonna just talk personal time, that's all that was brought to us, right?
So, if they got 3 days personal time, we're gonna extend it to September, October,
Who's got the
right?
most-
That's what
who's
we're
got the most there,
looking at
personal
right
time?
here.
For which? Personal?
Personal
Just
time.
personal.
Just personal time.
16.
You need to do this stuff ahead of time.
Molly's got 16, Jared's got 15,
Not a lot,
Tim Perry's got 19.25,
not very much.
and that's 16.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we roll over personal time to be used by the end of September
No,
2020.
let's say Labor Day, beginning of September.
But that's our busiest time and
Oh,
Yeah,
let's,
then you got
let's go to end of
everybody
let's go
September.
October
Time off.
first. Let's go October first.
See, they're gonna accumulate a lot of others by then too.
all they need to
I
use.
understand, but you're still on, when are you gonna let them take all this time? Because you're working on a,
Right,
I know.
because by October,
It's
things will be
awful.
quiet, but then,
Yeah.
October first.
No, October first really isn't quiet until after Columbus weekend, so.
Well, I mean,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
slowing down, so let's
we
go
can
October
always do it
first.
again. So
Yeah,
let's-
absolutely, we can
Right.
extend it.
Right,
Yeah,
just go October first.
Yeah,
I made the motion. Who
I'll second it.
Okay,
So the motion, what was the date?
October first,
October first.
2020.
Motion by trustee Fulmer, second by trustee Millet, to extend rollover time to October 1st, 2020. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I need to say something. This is all painful.
It is, we're trying to be so freaking conservative.
Wait till we get to this one.
What's that
Oh,
one?
boy.
Okay,
Squeeze, this ain't
Well,
good.
So-
I know a little bit about that one too.
What are we talking about?
number 3 is a weed eater for the sewer plant.
A regular junk weed eater is about $200.
So this one is to have
Saw blades.
saw
everything.
blades and stuff.
But we don't need any of that stuff because we already got that stuff.
We
All
have
he
a-
needs is the weed eater because the saw blades, he already has the hookups for all that stuff and, the trimmer and all that other stuff.
$500?
Hello?
So he has the
Pretty
accessories
good. Who's
to a
this?
weed eater he doesn't have? Or
Hey,
a
I'm
weed
in
eater
the
shipped
board
back?
meeting.
This
Can I
is
call
your
you back?
department.
I didn't,
This is submitted by
Okay, give me
Kevin.
about an hour, okay? Bye.
Is that a,
Folks,
did
that
they
was
buy
Kay
it already?
Doheny, she's in the
No,
hospital.
this is just
What's that?
That was Kay, she's in the
Estimate.
hospital. She got broke her hip this weekend.
$499.94 at Garlock's, and there's $23,925.12 in the account.
but what I'm asking is, he has the
He has-
accessories to go with the
He
weed
has
eater.
his own accessories to go on that thing.
Wow.
His own.
Yeah, he said that he would use all his accessories on that. Yeah. The blade and,
So what are we buying?
A weed eater.
It's a straight
Fancy
shaft,
weed
Does
eater.
he
straight,
need all that fancy stuff down there?
we aren't buying the stuff, just the weed eater.
Well, how much is a weed eater?
$500 and
something,
some
isn't it?
dollars.
I understand that, does he need a $400 weed eater?
Well, it's
We
one
can buy
that-
him a $99 one, buy him two or
I
three
mean,
of them.
you-
But it doesn't fit,
I mean,
all
whatever
the
you wanna do,
attachments won't
you know,
fit it.
what do you wanna do?
I get what he's saying. He just said the most important words. We need that, so that the attachments that Kevin has, we can use, otherwise we're gonna buy one $99 weed eater 5 times.
I understand that, but does he need to use all those attachments down there, cutting trees and stuff? At the
Sewer plants, but he's not, we're not buying them.
Well, soon he's gonna be
We're not buying
driving
it.
all
He
over
has
village
the
picking up
attachment.
trash.
I understand what but the thing is,
His question is, what does he need a weed eater for at the sewer plant?
that,
No, we need a weed eater. The sewer plant has the money, and that's why it's coming out of the sewer plant, because they have monies to buy equipment. The rest of
Oh,
them-
see, we talk half stories here. We have to have the whole thing come
Just
out.
like-
Well,
just-
everybody's working.
And they're all working
the
together,
jobs.
so that, this way they
Okay.
can all share.
Right, but we
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Right,
Like I
I mean,
said,
that's
this
a-
is painful.
Okay.
a different
Just
question.
like I need a leaf blower up there, remember when that gas leaf blower up
Yeah.
there? And Molly says, go ahead and get it, you got the money in the budget, I says, no, let's just use the one at the golf, or the golf, down the DPW
$249.
instead of buying a new one, you know what I
Now,
mean?
let's turn this thing around. What happens someday, maybe Kevin leaves, now we got this weed eater down there with no attachments, so now you gotta go buy attachments for it.
The only
He's
attachment,
here till he's retiring.
it'll have a weed eater head, let's put it that way. Let's put it that way, it'll have a weed eater head. How much does a weed eater cost regular? Just a weed?
It
$249.
depends on what you
Just
buy.
regular weed
I mean, if you could buy a decent one for $150.
$79,
Huh?
Mhm.
Harbor Freight, $79.
Well, I wouldn't buy
You
go that
believe it
low, but
once.
I mean, $150.
When we buy them, let's buy them 3 or 4 of them, so we'll get them. for
Whatever,
parts.
I
I'm gonna make a
mean,
motion that we allow him to buy the weed eater.
Well,
the whole-
I'm just afraid that if we buy a cheap one, because this one is a,
I made a motion.
I'll
This is
second the
steel.
motion.
steel.
I'll
steel.
second the motion.
but we're not.
So motion is
it's
made
in
by
the budget too,
trustee,
right?
or,
Yes,
So we're
seconded by-
not, we're not gonna be,
Like
I just wanna,
Yeah, oh, I know where you're coming from.
I'm just saying is, so,
yep.
it's in their budget, they got money there,
Yeah, the water plant couldn't buy it, but the sewer plant could.
okay,
there's 23,000.
okay. So I'm just saying.
$925.
Water department
No.
has no money.
Yeah, yeah, I just, if
Okay.
they didn't have the money,
Right,
and they're willing to share it, because they all work together.
Alright, that's what I'm
That's-
saying.
that's the only
Because
advantage
We're
to
all talking about budgets and.
Oh, I know
and
what you're
spending
saying.
all this stuff, so, I just wanted to make sure.
And that's why I backed down on not bothering with the leaf blower,
Okay.
because that was gonna be
Okay,
400
there's a
some
motion
dollars.
on the table.
And
Okay,
I'll
here we
second
go.
your motion.
It's already
No.
been seconded.
I'll third
Alright.
your motion.
Alright.
Motion
now
by
I know
trustee
what's going on.
Erb, seconded by
Okay.
trustee Fulmer to proceed with the purchase of the steel weed eater.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Bob.
Alexandria Bay Rotary
Oh.
Club. Dear Mayor Jarvis and village trustees, the Alexandria Bay Rotary is looking to participate in improvement projects within the village. We're looking specifically to proceed with some site improvements that have been discussed for the old Chamber of Commerce building. Delays in grant approvals has let our initiative for the building alterations languish. We truly look forward to accomplishing something this summer. Since the site work was not included in the grant, we would like to advance some site improvements. It is our hope that once the grant is approved, we can proceed with the alterations within the building to allow the public bathrooms and information center to serve the village of Alexandria Bay.
So you're gonna get a list of what they wanna do?
They didn't put it on the list, but they wanna move, the shuffleboard and the chess, that's down on the corner up to the,
This year? They wanna do that this year?
Yeah, they'd like to do something now to,
Okay, well, if they're gonna do it, and they're gonna move them chest figures and stuff up there, they're gonna have to monitor them.
we already had discussion about them,
You're gonna have to monitor them, wipe them off every time somebody uses them.
yeah, I don't think. they wanna
Every
do that.
chest piece, that great big chest.
Yeah, and I would say not, they don't need, I don't believe they should be.
They wanna be careful
right
on
now.
that, yeah, cause all that stuff will have to be
They
weighed down.
didn't submit that list of all the things they wanted to do, their site improvements
no, they did not
from
add it to.
before.
Well, I think we need the site
Yeah.
improvement list, and I had a discussion yesterday with Mark Reynolds and Michelle Taylor, and explain to them at the current Rotary Corner, if they put any of that stuff out, they have to have somebody there to clean it the entire time it's out. So if it's gonna be out from 8 to 8, they have to have a Rotary person there from 8 to 8 responsible for cleaning it. So I don't think they're going to do anything on Rotary Corner. So that's why I think you need to find out what they wanna do with the old chamber building.
Make a motion to table it till we get more information
I'll
from
make a
the...
motion, we table the Alex Bay Rotary Club.
Motion by trustee DeRigo to tables.
That's Mark Reynolds.
Village office. Hello? Hello?
Hello there,
Hello?
it's Mark Reynolds.
Yes, we figured that was you, Mark.
All right. Let me get away from my thing so we're not, got the overlap, how's that?
Okay.
The game plan was to basically get some of the games up there, like the shuffleboard, like chess set, like the cornhole, and not necessarily do it immediately, like tomorrow, but progress into the future, through the summer. And we did have a discussion with Judy about the fact that if we put anything out right now, it's gonna have to be, sanitized on a regular routine, whether it's multiple times a day, all that would have to be. The other piece would be, I think, if we can get, for example, a chessboard in the ground or a shuffleboard area in the ground, and maybe a couple of benches or something like that, that's something we could proceed with. Whether they're actually playable right now, I think that may be up in the air for a while yet.
Okay, but if you put that stuff up there now, benches or whatever else you're talking about, none of that's gonna be in the way of any of your construction workers when you do that work?
No, we were looking to keep it on the side of the site towards James Street, away from the building itself. And we still need to do some planning and organization with this. And what we'd like to do is be able to give you a plan that shows where these things would be and what they would look like, so that you're not going into this behind either.
So do we need to vote on this now or table it till June's meeting?
I think you can table it to the June meeting.
Okay.
And if we can have some discussions between now and then, we can put a plan on the table for you to actually respond to.
That'd be better.
All right, yeah.
Okay?
Thanks, Mark.
And, I know we mentioned about, during the first conversations here earlier about that the old chamber building, of putting tables up there for them to eat. So how's this gonna work now? If we do it.
Business people are gonna be taking care of it.
You're gonna put picnic
Well,
tables.
as far as I think the Rotary is concerned, we're looking forward to working with whatever configuration we can work with up there, and putting picnic tables up there was part of our plan initially, and I'm sure that if there are picnic tables that are movable picnic tables, they won't impact any kind of future improvements up there.
Okay.
So are we responsible for cleaning picnic tables?
We're not gonna put picnic tables out unless the business people take turns at keeping them clean.
Well, like,
Right.
the picnic table,
We won't
that's
put 'em
in
Okay,
the
we got Mark.
drinking
Are we all
and
set with Mark?
bars.
Are we all set with Mark?
Is that with Mark?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm
Bye.
sorry, Joe.
I said,
So
I'm
there's-
just back to the, eating your burgers and drinking up at the park. Are we cleaning picnic tables after they eat and drink?
No.
No.
Well, he's gonna have to clean some of them tables and stuff,
Yes.
and stuff on them.
Who?
John,
Whoever we hire. that
whoever we
maintenance
are,
guy.
yes. So there's motion to table the Rotary Club
Yeah.
by trustee DeRigo, seconded by
I'll second.
trustee Fulmer. All in favor?
I
Opposed?
don't like that next one. I don't like that when I see that.
Ah,
I
change
hate
order?
seeing those.
Change order.
They're nothing but monies.
So, this is change order number 5, includes the installation of new water service lateral for the dock of the bay on James Street, removal of leaking existing gate valve on North Crossman and Church Street, installation of flowable fill as required by New York State DOT in all excavation state road. Change order also includes extension for the final completion date.
And the price is?
What's the price, Judy?
$12,000 and change. We have
$12,910.08.
Okay, we have 19 and change left.
How did this all of a sudden come up another?
Yeah, I know, another $12,000.
I mean, they knew exactly. It was
When-
$390,000
These
the
contractors,
first day.
they're
They
noted for
ate
this.
every penny.
They're noted for this. It's
Every
nuts, it's
penny.
crazy.
Well, it's good.
Quote unquote, you said, we're not gonna have these change orders, not gonna go over budget, we're gonna have money left
We
over.
are not going, we are not going over budget.
We're gonna have the monies left over.
You might.
We were gonna
You
put
have
all
a
the
couple-
money.
$1 left over.
You wanted to take money before we even,
I should've took that money
you
before.
shouldn't. The money was earmarked for the Church Street Water Project, and I don't care if we use every last penny, that's what the town of
No.
Orleans and our grant was for. We didn't put up this money, they did.
Well, I totally disagree with you on that. I know
Okay.
they put the money out there, but when you get a price on something, and the whole project was 800,000, and it's 400,000 off, there's something wrong with that
Well,
project.
we agreed to,
There's something
We
wrong
added,
there.
Extend the
we added
project
laterals
in
and
the
and
middle.
We
things
did a
to
lot
it.
more than the
Yeah.
initial,
and this is finishing it. There's no way you can't.
And
make a
and they are
motion to
doing a
approve
good
the
job. I do
change.
not think.
I'm
that
not
they
happy
are.
with it.
I like the company
I'm
that's
not
doing
gonna-
it.
I'm not-
I just think that we're getting railroaded on change
I'm
order.
not happy with it, and I'm not gonna vote for it.
Well,
Then vote no.
Okay, I made a motion to accept the change order.
I'll second the motion, accept
You're
accept
making the
the change
motion?
order.
I am.
making the motion. Trustee Erk making the motion to accept the change order, seconded by trustee Fulmer.
It's gotta be a roll call vote.
Village office,
They must think that the public hearing.
Oh, hold on. It's Gregor, how you doing?
good buddy.
Hey, I just wanted to call in case anybody had questions on the change order.
Yeah, your ears must have perked up, huh?
Yeah, they perked up.
I guess so.
I wish I could be there with you guys. I see a couple chairs in the back row.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of chairs back there. All right, go ahead.
Hey, just wanted to clarify what the items were on the change order. So there's 3 main items. One item is for a lateral for the dock of the bay, which when they did the water line between the buildings, between James Street and the parking lot, it was not known that there was a connection for the dock of the bay somewhere in that area. There was no documentation on that. There was no record drawings for that. So after they did that work, they found out that that connection had been severed. And they remade that connection because obviously you can't leave it not being connected. So that time was tracked on materials and labor costs. So that was part of it. There's another item that we talked about at our progress meetings, which was a valve that was leaking at the intersection of Crossman and Church Street, which was not known during the initial project and was requested by the village. Excuse me. So that also was tracked based on materials and labor to complete that work because there wasn't a unit item cost for doing that work. And the third item was for flowable fill, which is DOT required. So we didn't have a unit item for that cost. So this is strictly based on what the material cost and what the material or what the material cost and what the labor cost was to do that work, which was required by the DOT.
Anybody have any questions for him?
I sure don't.
Anything about?
No.
Nope.
Should he?
And, Gregor, all this information was emailed to everybody, right?
It was emailed to you and Steve and to Molly.
Okay, we didn't send it to everybody, okay? I'll make sure from now on we do. Thanks, Gregor.
Thank you.
Yeah, if there's any other questions on that, just, I can stay on the line if there's questions regarding that, but it was things that weren't planned for, during the project and came up as things were moving along.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gregor.
Okay, everybody have a good night.
Yep,
Thank you.
have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Okay, where are we?
Above.
That's
We have a
the last thing,
motion
isn't it?
made by trustee Erk, second by trustee Fulmer, to approve the change order for JL. All in favor? I'll do
Aye.
You're gonna do a roll call?
You need to do a roll call vote.
Trustee Millet,
No.
trustee DeRigo,
No.
trustee Erk,
Yes.
trustee Fulmer,
Yes.
Mayor Jarvis is yes.
Okay, what else we got?
Are we-
Court,
Court?
I added
don't have it on
court.
there.
Nope.
I added it on here. I don't got it either.
Nope.
He added it on, so.
I added it.
Okay, let's get to that.
So Judge Drake is at, he presented this, from Honorable Lawrence Marks, Chief Administrative Judge. Spanning
Court
5
opening.
judicial jurisdictions, the return to courthouses will start next week in 30 upstate counties. And in Jefferson County, it's Wednesday, May 20th.
Okay, is he back
He's not
from-
back to work.
Pardon me?
I
He's
said
not
he's
even
not
back
back
here.
to work yet, is he?
Yes, he is.
He is.
Yes, he was here Monday, Tuesday, he was here today.
Good to know.
He should have let his village liaison know, I think.
I would think so too.
So what are you discussing? He is just telling
Erica.
us that he's gonna be open,
Yes,
and he wants Erica back 20
Yes.
hours a week?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay.
And I did ask him,
He called and let me know that it was opening, but he didn't say he was coming back yet.
No.
You don't need to open the court if he's not back.
he's back.
Because it's,
No.
okay, as long as he's.
And I
telling
did
you because
ask
the town
him-
court isn't even open yet.
But you can open as of Wednesday.
Well,
As
they
Wednesday,
had another
20th.
letter after that one. And we just were up there yesterday, and they were supposed to open yesterday morning, and they
Mhm.
told them yesterday morning,
Well,
don't open the doors.
while I was in
Well,
the
where's the
office
letter?
this morning,
That's the town,
Oh,
the
well.
town is different than the village.
yeah. Yeah, I
And
know,
while he
the
was
judges
in-
are different.
And while he was in the office this morning, he got a phone call from the, administrative, magistrate, and saying that, yes, they are open.
Okay, so you
I
have
don't
it
believe that.
officially in writing from Judge Drake that he is no longer on medical leave and he's back.
I don't have it in writing, he was in the office.
Well,
But are we gonna go through the motions of bringing Erica back and then he's gonna be out for medical leave and then we're gonna have to move it back up to the town? Is
I
he
think
back
we
to
need
work?
to have a letter from him stating that he's off of medical leave.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, because like he's got that letter right there saying that they were open yesterday. We got everything set up, put plexiglass up, did everything. We spent all day yesterday, and I went up there today and said to her, I said, do you want me to open the front door? Oh, no, we can't open yet.
Court is court. Doesn't matter if it's
I don't
town
care
or
where
village.
it is.
Richard's my neighbor and everything else, and to protect ourselves too, I think he should have a letter from his doctor saying that he's well enough to go back to work doing what he needs to do here. Protect ourselves,
Hmm?
right?
That makes sense. If you're off on medical leave, you always need a letter of
Right,
leave
just
so you
like
can go back to
when
work.
But He is an elected official too, you have to remember. Whether we need it or not, he's an elected official.
He should submit a letter to this village letting us know that he's
If
back
that-
to work.
Did, he contacted us and told us he was going on medical, absence, didn't he?
The whole question thing, where it comes from is, yes, he's an elected official, and I understand that, and I understand we're not supposed to interfere with the court. My only concern is he back now full-time, or whatever his normal schedule was, and, you know, that's fine, then if that's what he wants, but all I'm asking is, if we bring Erica off of unemployment, and she loses all that, and then next week he goes out, or 2 weeks goes out again, do we send it back up to the town? I don't know.
That's why I'm asking. If he gets cleared from his doctor saying he's well enough to come back and do his duties here,
Okay,
whether he's
Mr.
elected official or not,
We cannot make him do anything, he gets paid no matter what, he
Right.
is elected, Mr. Drake is appointed, he does not have to take medical leave, he gets paid no matter, that's not the
That's
question.
not the question.
The question is he going to be physically working,
Back to work.
back to work, so that we need to schedule things in this court to
Right.
happen, that's,
I'm
So-
saying this, and they're saying that.
So we'll leave it to the liaison
I will call him tomorrow.
to find out.
At the same time,
Where we're
ask him, what does he mean by open? Because
Does
we
the
were
le-
told,
Does
that letter was,
specify
I
what
know.
open means?
because that letter there came to
Open full-time,
us.
open.
When did we get that letter? Today, yesterday?
That
week?
letter came out like 2 weeks ago.
Well, then that might not be right.
And I know that town of Teresa Court is the village in the town, and they are not open.
Alright, who can you call tomorrow? Is there a number to call to verify?
she's the
Yeah.
liaison.
He has
I'll
the-
take care of it.
Alright,
There's a
Relax.
local magistrate,
Yep, and he's right down there at Garlock's.
there's Fifth Judicial
He
Judge.
works down there at Garlock's. You go right down and ask
Ed.
the court, chairman for this area is Ed Klepek.
The what?
The court chairman for this area, he's the one that goes out and does the liaison work for the courts, right down to Garlock's.
Julie can take care of it and,
Yes,
and
thank
find
you.
out what's
Thank
going
you.
on.
Okay.
Your vote of confidence.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on your list?
You guys gotta give us all that list next time.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to go close the meeting and go into executive session.
I'll second it.
Motion to go to executive. Trustee Palmer, second by trustee DeRigo, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?